pure shutdown pair, and they've taken off. McCabe and Tanev, have really thrived. And we were talking to McCabe today, and he was saying, we were like, how does playing with Tanev make you better? And usually, if you're asking that question, the partner of Tanev would say, well, I feel free to, take more risk because I have one of the best stay-at-home shot blocking defensemen in the league, really smart. But he said he's made me better defensively. And it's just these two guys really know their role. All they care about is defending. They're not trying to chase points or anything. So they've really found a rhythm. I think, the Riley Ekman-Larsson pair has been a little uneven, but I think Ekman-Larsson has been a terrific signing so far. And I think Riley has another gear. I think he's been fine, but I think he has another gear to get. And maybe that's, just getting used to a new coach's system. He was in the Sheldon Keefe system the whole time, and that was a little bit more freewheeling. This one's a little bit more simplified. So I think he's just trying to figure that out a little bit.
We're chatting with Luke Fox. I had Leafs Lightning. Last one for you, Luke, was reading your latest on sportsnet.ca, and you like the no escape rule. The PWHL was at the Scepters game today, and we saw a couple of those opportunities. They did get a jailbreak goal, but you think maybe the NHL should take a little look at the no escape?
Yeah, I think it's a cool idea. I mean, it's a pretty subtle tweak, but the team that takes the penalty has to keep whoever's on the ice when the penalty happened on to start the kill. So you could only have one defenseman out there for the kill. You could have more offensive minded players, and that just theoretically increases the chances of a power play goal. It's a small tweak, but I think it's a creative one, and I think the NHL should keep an eye on the women's league and maybe steal a couple of ideas. Usually when they do try to incorporate something, they'd give it a run at the AHL level first to see how players and coaches respond. But I think that one's absolutely one worth looking at.
Love it. It was a fun game today, and hopefully the Leafs can bring one home and get both Toronto teams with a W tonight. Luke, we appreciate you coming on. Enjoy the game, and safe travels when you're headed back. I don't know, where's the next game? Oh, they're back home next week.
It's home. It's a busy week.
Yeah, there's so much hockey coming up, so enjoy. Yeah. Thanks, Luke.
Okay. All right.
Luke Fox of Sportsnet joining us ahead of Leafs Lightning. Yeah, he mentions it next week. They got the Blackhawks on Monday, the Predators on Wednesday, the Capitals on Friday, and then on Saturday night they also have a game. They got a Pittsburgh game. Holy, 4 games next week.
Yeah, but definitely some points on the table. You mentioned Pittsburgh Penguins, pretty bad team. Nashville, pretty bad team. Chicago, pretty bad team. Washington has been a good team this year, but they're coming fast and furious at you, but also really good chances to accumulate some points, get back to the top perch in the Atlantic Division since recently conceding that back to the Florida Panthers.
Okay, so we mentioned it. We got a couple lines. Knies, Matthews, and Willie Nylander up on that top line. I'm really excited to watch those guys go because obviously Knies has had a breakthrough season a little bit here. I think he was one of my most improved. We did our grades earlier, or our rankings of players in terms of, who's stood out this year. And Knies has been on an absolute tear. Good to see that he's back from injury with Matthews. But do you wonder, both those guys have missed a little bit of time. Obviously, Knies is only a couple games. Matthews is quite a significant amount of time. Being the top line, you think they'll get top line minutes with all this considered?
They're going to have to. I mean, how often are you going to put Robertson, Minton, Lawrence out there more? You might be leaning heavily on Tavares and Marner, which you have been, but they're playing with Pontus Holmberg tonight, which is not Bobby McMahon, at least in terms of the utility that was brought to that line. So, if you're playing with William Nylander, you're going to play a lot probably because William Nylander's been, the mainstay throughout all this, really the guy who hasn't been subject to fluctuation and a lot of lineup changes. And honestly, this is one of the biggest changes for him is that he's got some tools now. He's been playing predominantly with,
he's at the short end of the stick,
lesser lights. Yeah, he's accepted that, and he's remained just relentlessly productive. He's always noticeable. He's definitely driving a line when he's got talent, and when he's not got talent, he's been really, really impressive in that regard. And now all of a sudden he's playing with two of the most impactful players on this Maple Leafs lineup. So that might be sucking wind a little bit, Matthews. Maybe a little less for Matthew Knies, given that his absence didn't run as long. But as long as you're playing with William Nylander, you're going to be used to the fullest extent.
I hope you're working on your cardio those couple weeks. Whatever this injury was, which we still don't know.
Well, he wasn't skating much.
I hope, but like, can you sit on a bike?
I don't know. We've been speculating about the injury. I don't know what he was able to do.
Goodness gracious.
Professional athlete, though.
Swim?
He'll be fine. He'll be all right.
Little couple laps in the pool. Who knows? Kucherov confirmed
whatever they prescribed
out.
In Germany.
Yeah, we read those articles. Kucherov confirmed out tonight for the Maple Leafs. I mean, for the Lightning, which is a big boost for the Maple Leafs. But Vasilevsky's Vasilevsky. It's that is the guy that you can take over this game. You don't have Kucherov. You still have to beat the guy in net. But I was doing some look ahead at my player to watch, which I won't tell you, but we'll tease it now. Matthews has been pretty good against Vasilevsky. Traditionally, I think can still put the puck in the net. Once you get the guy, they chased him last time out. Mm-hmm. Is it the Vasilevsky of old, or are we seeing cracks?
Yeah, you said a couple times, playoff Vasilevsky. Playoff Vasilevsky hasn't been playoff Vasilevsky for a while, or at least it's taken on a bit of a different connotation. But again, like, if you're throwing one goaltender in the net, like, you're not getting through many before you arrive back at Andrei Vasilevsky. He might not give his best during this big money contract that they signed him to, which was, a big decision for this group because they've been making a lot of big decisions over the years, and one of which made sure that Steven Stamkos wasn't going to be around any longer. But they believed in Andrei Vasilevsky, and I don't think there's any reason to not anymore. But yeah, I don't think he's as boogeyman as he was prior. But yeah, he can turn it on for a night any day of the week. He's been driving some really good results in terms of like where it's going to land you in the standings for the Lightning so far this year. They're 7th in the league with 83 goals, which is 18 more than the Maple Leafs have scored. So you're top 10 team comfortably in scoring, and then you're a top 10 team in goals allowed as well, and not like in the bad way. In goals conceded, you're giving up 10. You're on the fewer end spectrum where you want to be. They're top 10 where you want to be. They've given up 67. The Leafs are second in the league in goals conceded, giving up 10 fewer to this point. But they're top 10 in both goals scored and goals allowed, again, in the good way. So that's a really good formula. And do the results or the underlying metrics like really underscore that? Not necessarily. They're maybe riding a little bit of a PDO thing where the shooting percentage is up and the save percentage is really good, but that's on the back of Andrei Vasilevsky predominantly. So he has been good. He has been delivering really good contributions for the Lightning, who maybe should be a little bit worse in that goals conceded column. So yeah, it's still Andrei Vasilevsky. Maybe he's not Connor Hellebuyck anymore. Maybe Connor Hellebuck's in that elite tier pretty much by himself at this point. Maybe Igor Shesterkin's in there with him, but Vasilevsky's still Andrei Vasilevsky.
Where are you at with the Joseph Woll, Anthony Stolarz, I'm using air quotes, tandem competition, 1A, 1B? Joseph Woll's getting the start tonight. I don't think anyone's taken strides ahead of anyone else, but he's won the last 4 games he played in. He was player of the week the other week. He beat a couple okay teams, but has a pretty good track record as of late. Is he the number one right now?
I wouldn't say that, but if you're looking at the last couple weeks, who's been the better goaltender, I think for the first time you'd say Joseph Woll this year, and that is partly because Stolarz played in the Florida game, which was not a great effort all around. But Joseph Woll's been like very few blemishes on his record as of late. You mentioned the NHL honors, I guess, to a certain extent. The other week. So Joseph Woll's been really good. Joseph Woll's quietly been able to, while there's a lot of hoopla around Anthony Stolarz, just settle into the season very comfortably and pick up exactly where he left off. Continue to do what he's done, which has been, 90% of the time it's been a quality start where you're not even concerned about the performance. The main concern being whether he's going to be there. And quietly, he's just been available, which is really the number one most important thing for the Maple Leafs and Joseph Woll. And he is available tonight, ready to start and oppose Andrei Vasilevsky.
Yeah, we've been saying it over the last week when we've been evaluating this team at the quarter-way mark. I think Joe Woll and Anthony Stolarz are in the top echelon of duos in the NHL. They've been consistent. They've been putting up good numbers. They've helped this team to 7 wins without Austin Matthews out of 9 games. Like, they have been maybe the unsung heroes at times of this team. So just keep being steady. Knock on wood. There's not anything that goes wrong. No, you have a little bit of a goalie collection as well, which, might be a place to trade from near the deadline. If there's bodies who can move out to get a center. I feel good about the Leafs goalies for the first time in a long time. Yeah,
I was going to say it's the only thing not affected by injury, but the defense core has been relatively uninjured well. It's just that long list up front. McMahon, Domi, Reeves, Camp, Pacioretty, Yarncroc unavailable tonight, but it hasn't been the case in net or on the blue line.
All right, we'll take a quick break. We'll get you set for Puck Drop on the other side. You're listening to Molson Leafs Hockey on Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
From the biggest stadiums to the coziest holes in the wall. From house parties to porch hangs to pride celebrations. From your favorite fuss shop to your local Indian spot. From noodle bars.
What's up, Leafs fans? Thanks for hanging out with us tonight for the Leafs on Hockey Night in Canada. There's nothing better than Saturday night hockey with the Leafs and tonight the Lightning in Tampa. The Leafs heading south for a little U.S. Thanksgiving week break. They took a break off last game. We're not doing that again tonight. Let's go, buds. Let's get the W against the Lightning. Please hit that like button down below as well. Please share this link out. Let's get more hockey fans here in the chat hanging out with us, having a good time cheering our Leafs on to victory here on Saturday Night Hockey Night in Canada. All right, let's get back to the chat. We'll see you guys back in there. Make sure you're staying tuned during the intermission. We have a special video to drop during the intermission in collaboration with Jelly Leafs HD. Can't wait for you guys to see it. See you guys back in there. Go Leafs, go.
With customer service reps on the line to get you what you need when you need it 24/7, 365 every time. Maybe you heard it here first. Want to hear more? Visit uline.ca. ULINE, your shipping and industrial supply specialists.
As fall approaches and birds head south, a different kind of bird emerges, the Subaru. While migratory flocks seek warmth, Subaru's symmetrical full-time all-wheel drive keeps drivers soaring through the wild. During the migrating season, Subaru's hunger for adventure grows exponentially, driving the intrigued radio listeners to fall for Subaru at their local Subaru dealerships, experiencing an adventure of their own. So migrate to your local Subaru dealership to book a test drive today.
Hey everyone, it's your friend John Mayer here. Genres aren't rock or pop or hip-hop. They're real genres of life. They're like Mondays, dinner with family, songs I remember from junior high. And that's what you're gonna get on Life with John Mayer. It's my music, it's everyone else's music. It's singing in the shower and a quiet night at home. Come along with me as I play music that fits the moments of your life as they happen. On now, Channel 14, and on the SiriusXM app.
The biggest plays.
What a save!
Hits.
Oh, a hard hit.
Goals.
McDavid scores!
Tune to NHL Network Radio for the most in-depth hockey talk on the planet.
He is the GM of the Minnesota Wild.
Insiders.
The revenues and the big business.
And the best analysis on the air.
Alex Ovechkin!
The NHL on SiriusXM. Hear every team and your hometown call. NHL Network Radio. SiriusXM 91. And on demand with the SiriusXM app.
Score!
24/7 hockey talk.
To understand that you are allowed to legally still check the head, not just the head. The head by itself is a penalty. If you wanted to change it, that would be like in the IIHF. That's probably a penalty at the Olympics. That's probably at the World Juniors. That guy's gone and suspended. I ask you, do you want that?
SiriusXM, NHL Network Radio, SiriusXM 91, and on your schedule with the SiriusXM app. Hockey 24/7 on SiriusXM NHL Network Radio.
The only two players in the history of the National Hockey League to have 600 goals, 1,600 points, 3 Stanley Cups, and 2 Conn Smythes. Wayne and Sid. Just like it absolutely blows your mind how good Sidney Crosby is and how much we take him for granted.
SiriusXM NHL Network Radio, SiriusXM 91, and on your schedule with the SiriusXM app. NHL Morning Skate.
Logan Thompson with the Washington Capitals.
So talk about a team that kind of found their oats again.
Yeah, we brought in a lot of young guys who, have a lot of talent, and we're just looking for fresh starts. And part of this dressing room and the leadership that was in this dressing room, they brought us in and we just gelled so natural. Guys are playing up to their caliber and proving everyone wrong, and it's really fun to see.
NHL Morning Skate with Scott Laughlin and Gord Stellar. Weekdays 7 a.m. Eastern on NHL Network Radio, Sirius XM 91, and the Sirius XM app.
The National Women's Soccer League Championship game is coming to SiriusXM.
Hey, it's World Cup winner Heather O'Reilly of SiriusXM FC. Join Jessica Charman and me for the first national radio broadcast of the NWSL Final.
That's right, Heather. We'll be taking you through every thrilling moment live from Kansas City.
Join us as we make history at the 2024 NWSL Final on Saturday, November 23rd at 8 Eastern.
And it's on SiriusXM FC channel 157 and streaming on the SiriusXM app.
.ca. This is Molson Leafs Hockey. On Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Leafs Radio Network. There's a Molson with your name on it.
Welcome into Molson Leafs Hockey on Sportsnet 590, The Fan, and the Maple Leafs Radio Network. Eilish Forfar and Justin Cuthbert for your pre-games as we get you set for Lightning and Leafs tonight. A little Saturday night, hockey night in Canada, with Austin Matthews back in the lineup. What more can you ask for?
You can't ask for much more than that, but if you're being a little greedy, you get Matthew Nyes too, and you get Austin Matthews on the top line.
That's a treat.
Couple good lineup items for the Toronto Maple Leafs as they look to bounce back and split their Florida trip after losing to the Panthers midweek. But yeah, the headline item is Austin Matthews back in the lineup after missing nearly entirely the month of November. Last played November 3rd, and he's going to squeak in here and play on November 30th. But the Leafs were great in his absence, and everyone kind of knows that. 7-2 without Austin Matthews, had the league's best record by points percentage while he was sidelined. The Maple Leafs, or at least Austin Matthews' teammates, did their job, and they really stepped up in his absence, and that is despite, a kind of a humbling loss to the Florida Panthers midweek. So job done, I think, for everyone else, and it's still coming into focus how it's all going to look because there are a lot of injuries still, but you get Austin Matthews back, and if it stays that way for the balance of the regular season, you can really start to focus on being ready for the playoffs with your number one guy, and you're in a comfortable playoff position where you can just get out there and do the things that you got to do over the course of the season. That is only possible with Austin Matthews, and he's back tonight.
Yeah, this is a big one, 4 points type of game. Obviously you mentioned this week with the Panthers, but looking forward to tonight. The standings are close, and it's those kind of 3 or 4 teams that are solidifying themselves at the top. So tonight, a great opportunity for the Leafs with Joseph Woll in net to get a win. He's won the last 4 games he's played. He has a pretty good stats against the Lightning, 3-1-0 with a 222 goals against average and a 933 save percentage. So he gets the start tonight for the Maple Leafs against Vasilevsky on the other end. But let's go through the Leafs lineups because, as we mentioned, there's a couple people injured, someone suspended, and a couple of new bodies to run through.
Yeah, let's do it. The top line will include Austin Matthews and William Nylander alongside Matthew Nyes. That's interesting for a lot of reasons. 2 returning players, and William Nylander, who's had to work with less for most of the season so far, and he's getting to play with the best player on this team, and Matthew Nyes, one of the emerging guys. So that top line is of utmost intrigue tonight. Tavares will stay with Marner on the second line, but they will have a new winger in Pontus Holmberg with Bobby McMahon joining that injury list. Third line will have Nick Robertson, who continues a long stretch of games because of these injuries with Fraser Minton and Steven Lorentz.
I thought you were going to say a long stretch of games without a point.
Oh, that too, which is why the long stretch of games may be only dependent on that or exclusively dependent on all those injuries. And then the fourth line will have the other Nylander, Alex, with Connor Dewar and Nikita Grabenkin. So it truly is kind of the have-not sort of scenario with a lot of big names in the top 6 and a lot of Marlies in the bottom 6.
And on the back end, McCabe and Tanev on that top pairing. Right, and McCabe, I'm not going to say the stat unless I'm sure of it. I'll come back to it. McCabe and Tanev, Riley and Ekman-Larsson, and Benoit and Timmins on the back end. And we mentioned it, Joseph Woll with the start. I'm finding the stat, so take over.
Okay, yeah, I can take over from there.
McCabe is playing in his 600th career game.
There you go. That's very important.
That's all I wanted to know.
We got that one right.
I mean, it's a big night for him, all right?
It's a big night. 400 away from getting that big, shiny silver stick.
Boy,
which
that's
will
a long ways away.
Exciting. Well, he just signed a contract extension, so hopefully he gets there. Lightning have been, like previously, is like a terrifying team, right? Because, you're winning Stanley Cups at the back-to-back variety. They've been kind of the standard. They've had John Cooper coaching them for a really long time, but the Maple Leafs have had some success, of course, against the Lightning in the playoffs, their only series victory. And then last time out, I think it was one of the best victories of the season for the Maple Leafs, chasing Andrei Vasilevsky, scoring 4 times in the second period. But maybe more important than that, they just matched their physicality. They went toe-to-toe, and it was the first time, I think, this season you're like, oh, that's the Berube Maple Leafs. So we'll see if they can repeat that after winning their first game this year, 5-2.
That's definitely something you remember too. When you have a statement game and you run a goalie out of the net and you just dominate an opponent, you remember that when you come to play them the next time. It's a confidence boost. It's like, hey, we've done this, we've been there, we've owned this team already. So I think you come in with a lot of confidence. You've got some of your players back in the lineup, and as we mentioned, no Nikita Kucherov on the other side. Like the Leafs have the perfect game plan here to find a way to win. They just can't take anyone lightly, and I don't think they will because of the history between these two teams. They should be well rested. The Leafs last played on Wednesday night. They had 2 full days off in between. They skated yesterday, but a little American Thanksgiving there, a little turkey, and you just got to get the legs under you in the first couple minutes and control the game. So let's get to your key to victory. It's brought to you by your Ontario Honda dealers. Up your game. Lease the CRV from 2.99% up to 28 months. Visit HondaOntario.com.
I think it's that you can't let Andrei Vasilevsky settle in, because that historical thing that the Leafs may use to feel good about themselves, well, it might be the chip on the shoulder for Vasilevsky to be like, they chased me last time, I got to be better this time. But if you're all over him, you get one early. You don't let him settle in and feel the rhythm, feel good about where his start is. Then maybe he denies you throughout the game, shuts the door throughout. So I think, not letting him settle into the game is probably the biggest key to victory tonight for the Toronto Maple Leafs, who are, again, trying to split their Florida road trip.
I wonder, I'm going to ask Armin to send us the Tampa Bay Lightning lines unless you have them. You don't. How many potential Four Nations players will be on the ice tonight?
Ooh, okay. We'll go through it.
We could,
Hagel's definitely potential. Sorelli,
Marner,
Point will be there.
Point.
If we're doing other teams,
we're
definitely
doing all the other
Victor
teams.
Hedman would be there. Nylander will be there. Matthews will be there, if you didn't mention him.
No, not yet. We're at like 6 or 7 here. It's good radio.
We can
do that. You know what? We'll present that to you in the first intermission.
How about we get a final count for the first intermission? That sounds like a great idea. Better idea right now, though, is the player to watch, presented by Bet365. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. Must be 19 plus. Ontario only. Play responsibly. Visit ConnexOntario.ca. Ailish, who have you circled after a successful betting afternoon with the Scepters?
Right. Been rolling in the Scepters dough. Austin Matthews. It's been a while. He's a lock tonight. I like a plus 110 for a goal. A couple of reasons why. He's got 19 goals against Andrei Vasilevsky, the most against any goalie that Austin Matthews has faced. So there's the historical scent. And Matthews, in his career stats after missing a game, whether it's 1 game, 2 games, 3 games, whatever, he comes out ready to go. In 14 games upon return, he's got 13 goals, 17 points. When he's ready, he's ready. I think that they really rested him. We know that maybe it felt like too long for fans that were waiting for Austin Matthews to return, but tonight he's going to be as ready as ever to get out on the ice. He's going to be motivated. He's going to be playing alongside Matthew Knies and William Nylander on that top line. Like, it just feels like a night where Matthews comes back in, and you laid it out earlier in the show, how far behind he is in his normal stats, in his team lead points, in his goals points, and getting into the league lead. He's won the last 3 or 4 Rockets. Like, this means a little bit to him. So I'm going to have him as our player to watch to get out on the score sheet early and often to kind of get back in a groove.
Yeah, among that, 9 goals behind William Nylander, his line mate tonight for the team lead, 13 goals, behind Sam Reinhart for the league lead. So a lot of ground to make up for Austin Matthews if he's going to continue to wear the crown as the NHL's goal-scoring king. We had Gabby Shirley on in the first block today to talk about the Tampa Bay Lightning a little bit. She's provided us with lines for the Tampa Bay Lightning, so I can present them to you now, but they are very incomplete. The top line has two players, Jake Gensel and Braden Point, because Nikita Kucherov is unavailable. So they're going to be rolling 7 defensemen and using the blender throughout. So Gensel and Point is the top pairing. Second line, Hagel, Sorelli, Gonzalez, Shiri, Geeky, Atkinson on the third line, Gergensons, Glendening, and Isimont on the fourth line. So that is
that's a way different Lightning lineup than I remember haunting me.
When it says Kucherov, it's a little different, but this team is diminished. Like, I don't think there's any way to get around that they're a bit of a different line team. Oof. A big fourth line?
Yeah.
In what sense?
Like big boys.
Yeah, they're big. You got a Latvian and Gergensons, but they don't have anyone to go with Ryan Reeves.
No,
but
like
they got
big
some
boys.
They got some toughness back there. Back end, Victor Hedman, Moser, McDonough, Cernak, Lilleberg, not Liljegren, with Perbix and Radish going back and forth on the third pairing there. So they're going to run 7D, 11 forwards, and we'll see what John Cooper concocts tonight.
That's also obviously not having Nikita Kucherov in your lineup is tough, but it's also hard to do some line matching on the other side of it. You're Craig Berube when it's kind of a blender, right? They're not going to be structured lines for some of this game, and maybe they'll find a rhythm to it, but harder to play against, definitely. But you'll take that over not having Nikita Kucherov to match up against for sure. Leafs looking like they're getting some health back. They're going to have motivation back tonight, and Austin Matthews leading the way as the captain. Feel like this can be a great game, a statement game for the Leafs, dare I say.
And this is kind of very quickly, the issue with the Maple Leafs that they're going to run 2 lines, especially if you meet the Bolts in the playoffs. They have Braden Point and Anthony Cirelli on the top 2 lines. They're going to be seeing Tavares or Matthews every single shift. You need to score against the bottom 6, and they're not necessarily built to do that tonight. So we will see how it all goes in a test drive between the Lightning and Maple Leafs tonight.
All right. Puck Drop with the Leafs and the Lightning is next with Joe Bowen and Jim Ralph. You're listening to Molson Leafs Hockey on Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
The fantasy football playoffs are coming, and if you want to win, you need to listen to Fantasy Sports Radio.
You should be watching who the other teams are cutting this week. There's going to be some good players.
We're here to help you overcome bye weeks, poor performance, and injuries.
You've got to have the depth. You cannot sleep on your weakest link.
You need our team of fantasy football experts now more than ever.
Some tips for late season waiver advice. Make sure you have some money for those final playoff games.
Fantasy Sports Radio, Channel 87, and on the Sirius XM app.
The biggest plays.
What a save!
Hits.
Hard hit.
Goals.
McDavid scores!
Tune to NHL Network Radio for the most in-depth hockey talk on the planet.
He is the GM of the Minnesota Wild.
Insiders.
The revenues and the big business.
And the best analysis on the air.
Alex Ovechkin!
The NHL on Sirius XM. Hear every team and your hometown call. NHL Network Radio. Sirius XM 91. And on demand with the Sirius XM app. 24/7 hockey talk.
To understand that you are allowed to legally still check the head, not just the head. The head by itself is a penalty. If you wanted to change it, that would be like in the IIHF. That's probably a penalty at the Olympics. That's probably at the World Juniors. That guy's gone and suspended. I ask you, do you want that?
Sirius XM, NHL Network Radio. Sirius XM 91. And on your schedule with the Sirius XM app. Hockey 24/7 on Sirius XM NHL Network Radio.
The only 2 players in the history of the National Hockey League to have 600 goals, 1,600 points, 3 Stanley Cups, and 2 Conn Smythes. Wayne and Sid. Just it absolutely blows your mind how good Sidney Crosby is and how much we take him for granted.
Sirius XM NHL Network Radio. Sirius XM 91. And on your schedule with the Sirius XM app. NHL Morning Skate.
Logan Thompson with the Washington Capitals.
So talk about a team that kind of found their oats again.
Yeah, we brought in a lot of young guys who, have a lot of talent, and we're just looking for fresh starts. And part of this dressing room and the leadership that was in this dressing room, they brought us in and we just gelled so natural. And guys are playing up to their caliber and proving everyone wrong, and it's really fun to see. And
NHL Morning Skate with Scott Laughlin and Gord Stellar. Weekdays 7 a.m. Eastern on NHL Network Radio. Sirius XM 91 and the Sirius XM app.
The The National Women's Soccer League Championship game is coming to SiriusXM.
Hey, it's World Cup winner Heather O'Reilly of SiriusXM FC. Join Jessica Charman and me for the first national radio broadcast of the NWSL final.
That's right, Heather. We'll be taking you through every thrilling moment live from Kansas City.
Join us as we make history at the 2024 NWSL final on Saturday, November 23rd at 8 Eastern.
And it's on SiriusXM FC channel 157 and streaming on the SiriusXM app.
The best player analysts and insiders live on NHL Network Radio. Brian Burke.
I didn't like Nashville. I don't like the composition. I told you they had too many violins and not enough cellos. So to me, the anticipation was out of line, misplaced. So how do you fix it? I think you got to get back to the very basics. Change the way you play, change your style of play. It's the only thing you can do. You can't change the personnel much.
Get the latest opinion and analysis you need on the home of hockey, NHL Network Radio, SiriusXM 91, and the SiriusXM app.
Join me, Gord Stellick, and Scott Laughlin as we recap the night that was on NHL Morning Skate, weekday mornings at 7 a.m. Eastern on NHL Network Radio, SiriusXM 91.
The Leafs Radio Network.
Continue the road trip as they tangle with the Tampa Bay Lightning in Tampa Bay as a big loss, if you will, with a kind of a makeshift lineup in Florida. The Panthers are hot. They've won back-to-back games with Carolina. They are in first place, although the Leafs have games in hand in order to try and retake the Atlantic Division.
Yeah, it's. I think it was one of those games, Joe, that the Leafs were due. And so were the Florida Panthers, as you see them beat Carolina now back-to-back.
So the starting goaltenders are brought to you by Molson. Molson, everyone in. And Joseph Wall is 5-2-0 with a 2.00 goals against average and a .922 save percentage. Andrei Vasilevsky, who did not dress last night in their victory, is 10-7-1, 2.40, and a .910 save percentage in that game. And so the Maple Leafs will tangle with an old nemesis, if you will, but they have had decent luck against Vasilevsky over the years. But we'll see what happens as the Leafs defend the goal to our right and the Lightning are to the left as it's cleared into the Toronto zone. Wall out of the goal, poking it along the boards for McCabe. He got it up ahead, and Tavares can't get it out as it bounces back towards the blue line. Marner won't get to it, and it's cleared right back down into the offensive zone for Tampa Bay. Lightning down into the corner, centering pass, and a scoop up there by Wall off the shot taken by Braden Point. We'll bring a face-off in the zone. The Leafs get Austin Matthews and Nyes back into the around back of the net, and it is Benoit there for Toronto with a long stretch pass that didn't connect, but the Leafs get it back and had to be patient there to allow the exchange of players before touching the puck. Heads up play. Played back down into Tampa Bay territory. A good hit there by Lorenz, but the puck comes out into the center ice area. Punched down into the corner then by Radish, and it's around back of the net. Benoit trying to punch it up the boards, unable to do so. Connor Sherry keeps it in with a shot that's deflected wide by Wall. Into the corner with it now is Yzerman. Got it back to the point, shot in the traffic. Down is Wall, and there's an awful pile of bodies in the blue paint that just got funneled to the boards by the Maple Leaf Defense Corps to stop play with 18:15 to go here in the period.
I think Joseph Wall might have been laboring a bit after this. It was a wrist shot from the point with traffic in front.
Got pushed into the net a little bit, didn't he? Good pad save,
though. Connor Sherry was the one that was right in the blue paint, and I think the puck bounced off Sherry. Wall appears to be okay. He's had some success against Tampa, winning 3 of his 4 starts, 222 goals against average, 2.22.
Well, he's
933 save percentage.
Yeah, he's won his last 4 starts and allowed just 6 goals. As it's punched down into Tampa Bay territory, Moser getting it around the boards to the blue line, pushed out at center ice, unable to carry it in though was Moser, and it's back into the offensive zone. Leafs trying to come up with it. An errant pass is going the length of the ice. An icing call is coming here against the Tampa Bay Lightning. It'll come back into the Lightning zone. The Leafs have had a bit of a respite, I suppose. A nice spot to have a couple of days off down there in South Beach, and then making the trip over to Tampa and getting healthy. Nyes and Matthews back. But then you got Bobby McMahon, who's on the list now.
Yeah.
Face off one. Riley's shot is being deflected off the stick of Gunsel and up into the screen and out of play.
And even though Kucherov's out of the lineup, Nick Paul's out of the lineup for the Tampa Bay Lightning, the Leafs, if anyone, should know you don't sort of rest and say, boy, they haven't got their big boys. They should be an easy target for us tonight. That's obviously what the Leafs were able to avoid with Austin Matthews and a host of others out of the lineup.
McDonough gets the puck around the boards out into the center ice area, but Glendening couldn't help him out. And it's back into Tampa Bay territory. Played over on the near side. Chernik got it up on the left wing. It bounces down into the Toronto zone. Puck up on the near boards. Nyes got it out at center. Matthews races after it, but he won't get to it. And neither will Nylander, as it's back down the other way and played to the right wing side and into the zone for Greeky. Greeky with a pass off his stick, and it's going to come back out into the center ice area. Lightning go back to retrieve it. Played ahead and down in on goal. See what Wall's going to do with it. He's going to play on and get it into the corner, and the Leafs get it up on the wing, and it is punched out into the center ice area, but Connor Dewar couldn't come up with it, and the Lightning bring it right back through center ice. Radish sends it down into the Toronto zone. Dewar playing it up on the boards to his winger, but couldn't get out. Gravenkin sends it to the other side, and now an outlet pass for Benoit, and a pass ahead. Dewar tips it into the offensive zone. Leafs fourth line into the attack. Puck comes around on the boards, and a nice little touch pass gets it out at center, only to have the Leafs come away with the puck. Brought right back in by McCabe. He'll shoot it into the far corner. Punched right back out at center ice. McCabe will do it all over again. This time he's going to ring the boards with it. Vasilevsky couldn't stop it. Back of the net now. Here's Laurent's centering pass. It comes all the way back to the point, and a shot that deflects wide of the Tampa Bay goal. Lightning will get it through center and in on the line on the left wing side. Yzerman got it down into the corner. Leafs get it around on the boards, and Lorenz bodies his man nicely to protect the puck to get it out into the center ice area. Tampa Bay back in their own zone. Moser playing it up at center. Backhanded to the Leaf line and in. Trying to work into the corner with it. There was Girgensons. He got spun around. Puck comes along the boards for Marner. A nice little outlet pass will get it out at center ice. Down into Tampa Bay territory. No score, first period. Closing in on 5 minutes played. Glad you're along with us. We're just nicely underway. Delayed offside. Allows the Lightning to get the puck out, but Marner was able to steal it back, punch it in over the line. Then Matthews goes in to steal. Matthews taken to the boards by Gonsalves, and now the puck is along the boards looking to pry it free as Matthews and Nyes. Nyes got it around back of the net. Nyes trying to get it again, and now Matthews is after the loose puck. Matthews comes out with it. Matthews out of the corner into the far side. Matthews puts the brakes on, tried to center, and Nylander was nowhere near the puck when it was set out. And it's cleared by Tampa Bay into the Toronto zone. Benoit down the left wing boards, off Nyes and into the offensive zone to allow a change of players. Lightning with a pass up on the right wing, trying to break free there was Chernik, but he'll get it down into the Leaf end. Then Wall mishandled the puck, and now here the Lightning getting it out in front. Good play to intercept, and it is launched high to center ice and racing after it now. Here's the Leafs trying to get in over the line with Alex Nylander, and he couldn't come up with the loose puck. Now that's the type of play that if that's Willie, he probably gets there, right? Here's Alex Nylander cruising through center. He'll flip it into the left wing corner before heading to the bench. Robertson got down after it. Minton gets it back. Back to the point. Riley with a shot that's well wide. Lorentz centering pass just out of the reach of Robertson. Near the puck when it was set out. And it's cleared by Tampa Bay into the Toronto zone. Benoit. Down the left wing boards. Off Nyes and into the offensive zone to allow a change of players. Lightning with a pass up on the right wing. Trying to break free there was Charnik. But he'll get it down into the Leaf end. Then Wall mishandled the puck, and now here the Lightning getting it out in front. Good play to intercept, and it is launched high to center ice and racing after it now. Here's the Leafs trying to get in over the line with Alex Nylander, and he couldn't come up with the loose puck. Now that's the type of play that if that's Willie, he probably gets there, right? Here's Alex Nylander cruising through center. He'll flip it into the left wing corner before heading to the bench. Robertson got down after it. Minton gets it back to the point. Riley with a shot that's well wide. Lorentz centering pass just out of the reach of Robertson. And out come the Lightning through center ice. Chipped in by Connor Sherry, but it is played right back by the Maple Leafs, but it's going to turn into an icing. And so it will.
I thought it was icing excuse. Might be up there as well.
And I'm going to tell a story about my dad. I'll tell it when we come back. You're listening to Molson Leaf Hockey on Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
I'm Mariah Carey.
This holiday season, the Queen of Christmas takes over Sirius XM Holly every Monday.
Mariah Mondays.
Sharing her favorite holiday music and stories.
My gift to you.
Celebrating 30 years since Mariah released her first Christmas album.
Happy holidays.
Throughout December, starting Monday on Holly, Channel 79, or at home with a Sirius XM app.
Hey, you. Yeah, you. The one that's hanging out with us watching the Leafs game on Hockey Night in Canada. I'm sorry, my microphone is broken. It broke right before I was ready to record these. It's time to get a new microphone. Gonna have to hit up Amazon real quick. Please hit that like button down below and please subscribe. If you're new here, help us continue to grow. We're almost at 62,000 subscribers. We're on our way up to 100,000 where we hang out every single Leafs game together, cheering on our Leafs. Now, thank you for hitting that subscribe button and becoming an insider. We'll see you back in the chat. Go Leafs, go.
As we make history at the 2024 NWSL Final on Saturday, November 23rd at 8 Eastern.
And it's on Sirius XM FC Channel 157 and streaming on the Sirius XM app.
The biggest names in the game.
Trying to get behind Ristolainen. Walks in. Put it between his legs. Shoots it. Score!
NHL play-by-play on Sirius XM.
Radio Network.
Bad goals. I gave up a really bad goal in a playoff game that we ended up losing. Not quite as bad as that. And as I'm driving home, my dad, who was a goaltender, and we had the little rule that if I didn't bring it up, we didn't talk about the game, but I did bring it up. And he said, let me tell you about the OUAA final between the University of Western Mustangs and the University of Toronto Varsity Blues. My dad's the goaltender in the era where you weren't allowed to fall down. And he said, the puck came to me. I came out to play it, went to throw it into the corner off the heel of my stick and into the net for the overtime winner. I said, Dad, you didn't make me feel any better, but that was a terrible goal. Lightning in with a shot, wall down. He won't make a mistake on that one. He covers it up. But it was awfully nice of him.
But if you would have learned a lesson, you wouldn't have told me or anybody else what happened to you.
True. You're right. Because now it's public knowledge, right?
But the bottom line is, it's the one position. If you screw up bad, you can't blame anybody else. You have to own it. You have to wear it.
Yep. Some guy's minus 15 on the night, and it's your fault.
And that is the reason when goalies make a great save, they don't fly by the bench with a bunch of high fives.
No.
Because you can get humbled very quickly right after.
Yes, indeed. The humble pie comes rather quickly, doesn't it? Lightning flipping it in front of the net. It rolls into the near corner. McCabe tried to play it along, and the Leafs are going to get it out. And it is Tanev carrying it to the line and in. Off on the right wing side for Nylander. Nice move as he works into the slot area. He's on his backhand. Played it off into the corner. Now back to Tanev at the point. Scores! In front of the net. Nice. I think got a piece of this. but Tanev drills it towards the net, and Matthew Knies is back in the office, baby, and he's collecting his paycheck.
Willie Nylander, I believe, will pick up the secondary assist. It's Nylander, nice little spin move in the far boards. Oh, I apologize.
It was Matthews.
He throws it to Matthews after making that move, and it was Matthews that put it on a tee for Tanev. And Matthew Knies with the redirection right through the pads of Andrei Vasilevsky. And for Matthew Knies, he likes the Lightning. This is his 7th game against Tampa, his 5th goal and 9th point. And Andrei Vasilevsky had a tough outing. We mentioned Charlie Lindgren giving up that goal when Washington was in, the own goal. Washington came back and won that game. Vasilevsky gave up 5 on just 32 shots on goal.
7:13, the time of the goal. Knies with his 9th of the season. And the Maple Leafs with a 1-0 lead and are about to go on the power play. Pass back into the slot for Matthews, who's the extra attacker. Dropped it off Marner. Near side it comes to Timmins. Timmins back to Marner. Pushed along into the corner for Matthews. Back to Marner. Marner holds. Sent it towards the net. Oh, and that was deflected in front. Knies. I think that was Knies in front of the net.
Or was it Benoit?
Was it Benoit? Was it a 3? It was just a 2?
Yes.
Okay.
I think if you're Benoit, you're probably saying this might be as close to a chance of scoring as I'm going to get on a delayed penalty. And it was Tavares got taken down by Braden Point. So the Leafs will go on their first power play of the night. 12 of 36 in their last 10 games. And they're going to go 5 forwards. Craig Berube was saying he just loved being able to keep Matthew Knies out on the power play and that net front presence that we just saw in the first goal.
9-1 are the Maple Leafs when they are 9-1-1 when they have scored first. Trying to make it a 2-0 lead now with the power play. Cleared in and around the boards back of the net. Knies got a piece of it. The Leafs are able to get it back to the blue line. Just kept in by Marner. Played down into the corner. Around back of the net, Knies rings the boards with it, but unable to get anybody over there. I don't know where Nylander was, but it's all the way back down into Toronto territory.
That might be one of the downsides of having 5 forwards is you're not as aware of where you should be back on the point.
Now here is Matthews up on the right side for Tavares. Tavares holds, saucers it off nicely to Marner. A pass in front of the net, deflected wide of the net by Nylander. Played along the boards for Matthews, back to the blue line to Marner. Marner with a pass into the slot area that didn't connect. Now against the boards, it is grabbed off by the Lightning. Played ahead and out at center ice, and Nylander's going to have to get back to take that away. The coach likes it. I'm not a big fan. I'm sorry. You got 5 guys out there thinking score, score, score. Someone's got to think, you know what? You still got to play a little defense. Here's Riley as they make a change on the power play. Set it down into the corner. Lightning get it back at the net. A centering pass. It comes back to Riley at the point. A deflected opportunity in front for Alex Nylander. And it went off the heel of his stick and went wide. Great play by Nick Robertson to set that up to get it out in front. 14 seconds left to go on the penalty. In on the left wing, Robertson can't get in deep. Brought back by the Lightning, and it's going to be fed by Luke Glendening down into the zone. That'll do it. Leafs are 0 for 1 on the power play. Ekman Larsson onto the wing. Played in by Alex Nylander back of the net. Pontus Holmberg couldn't get to it. Chipped up on the line, and the Lightning will get it out on the right wing, and it is played by Braden Point down into the Toronto zone. Now it comes back into the slot area. Knocked on the wing then for Perbix. He couldn't keep it in. And as it is bounced in on goal, Wall will leave it there for Jake McCabe. 9:40 to play, first period. And the Leafs with a 1-0 lead. Tanev gets it in over the line. Cleared into the corner for Lorenz. Bouncing puck back to the blue line. Just kept in by McCabe. His long wrister went wide of the net. Kept in by Tanev and back of the net now. Trying to work out of the corner was Nikita Grabenkin. That is left there for Connor Dewar. Dewar gets it back to the blue line, but unable to keep it in. Benoit, and or at least Tanev, he's going to have to go back into his own zone. The veteran Chris Tanev What a impact he has had on the Leafs defense corps. Benoit getting it down into Tampa Bay territory. 9 minutes to play in the period. Cleared around back of the net. Nylander onto it quickly. Nylander getting it back to the blue line. Got it into the slot area. No one could get a shot. Cleared by Tampa Bay, and it's going to come down into the Toronto zone. Benoit or Matthews on the wing for Nylander. Just did have it at the blue line, but had it knocked off his stick. Tampa can't get it in cleanly, and the Leafs have it under control in their own zone with Connor Timmins playing catch with his defense partner. And now it is pushed out at center ice, and now Morgan Rielly roaring in on the right side. Rielly with a backhand to the front of the net. Stop the rebound! Is fired at the net by Marner, and it was stopped by Vasilevsky. Played around back of the net. Leafs keep it in. Rielly at the left point. Goes D to D with it. Timmins with a shot in traffic, and there is a big traffic jam in front of the net. Tavares was down on all fours after being knocked down. Cleared back into the Toronto end. Timmins after his man, who falls trying to stop. And the Maple Leafs have the puck, and they're going to get it out into the center ice area. Lightning play it ahead. Nice move there to gain the zone. Atkinson in with a shot. Pad save, and the rebound poked wide of the net by Tanev to get it out of harm's way. Lifted high, and that's gone out of play into the benches. And so a face-off is going to come, I would believe, back in the Toronto zone. Matthew Nyes has got the Leafs on the board. It's 1-0, and you're listening to Molson Leaf Hockey on Sportsnet 590, The Fan, on the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
Oh, Maya. Maya. She loves being cool. 21 degrees is her favorite number. God, she's the coolest, especially at night. So I raised the temp at 10 p.m. because she gets chilly when she sleeps. Maya loves using less energy, and I love Maya. We're basically besties.
With SmartFlow from Enbridge Sustain, you won't have to think about your HVAC, but it will always be thinking of you. With smart controls and zero upfront costs. Visit EnbridgeSustainSmartFlow.com to learn more.
Fall for Subaru by enjoying fall to the fullest. Think scarlet, burgundy, amber, crimson and copper, but never, never blue.
What's up, insiders? It's that time of the night for you to let us know where you're watching from. Let's see how many people all over Canada, all over the United States, and all over the world are hanging out with us here on TSI. The dogs are barking. They're excited. They can't wait to see where you're watching from. I want to see lots of Canadian flags in the chat, USA flags, countries, provinces, states, cities, everything. Let's see how Canada does Hockey Night in Canada and the world does Hockey Night in Canada here on TSI. Now let's get back to the chat. Go Leafs, go! And let's have some fun in there. Keep it classy.
Including your digital pink slip. Get insurance that's really big on care at Desjardins.com/care.
You're listening to Toronto Maple Leafs hockey.
Nyes has tied the game, but a brilliant play by Max Domi
on Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Leafs Radio Network.
Matthew Nyes from Tanev and Matthews, the scoring play for the Maple Leafs, and they have a 1-0 lead. What's your opinion on upper body, lower body, no divulging of injuries?
I'm 100% for it. And in fact, I realize it's the way things are in all sports now. I'm not a big fan of having cameras in the dressing room and cameras everywhere players go. And, you know, I still think some things should be private. It's their job is on the ice, not to fill social media accounts, you know, for content off the ice.
I agree with you. The unfortunate situation as it bounces into the Tampa Bay zone is that pro football, that is pretty much owned by every gambling company in the world, has a weekly list of what's wrong with everybody and why they're not playing. And the National Hockey League has decided not to do that, not to follow suit as a long shot is swallowed up by Wall and held. I agree with you. I honestly do. These guys put themselves on the line, and if you're going to go out and say it was his right shoulder and he's been having it shot up, because I do remember seeing
Thomas.
a piece. Yes, no, but I remember seeing a piece of paper in the Buffalo dressing room, and Roger Nielsen, the assistant coach at the time, had outlined every major injury each guy had. Could have been 5 years ago that he had an ankle injury or an ankle operated on or something, but all of that was knowledge that went into what was going on, right?
Yeah, you got to know which hand to slash if he's had a wrist injury.
Yeah, you got to put a bullseye on him, make sure it's a good one. Out come the Lightning at center. They get it in on the right wing. Trying to stop up with it there was Gunsel. He couldn't. It goes down into the corner. And Ekman Larsson gets it freed up for Riley, and he's going to pound it off the glass to get it out at center ice. Leafs unable to come up with it initially, but now have it back in their own zone. Ekman Larsson working up the left wing boards with a pass ahead. Steve Lorentz gets it down into the left wing corner. Lilleberg got it along the boards for the Lightning to get it around, but couldn't get it out cleanly. And it is back down into Tampa Bay territory with goaltender Vasilevsky playing it around the boards. Backhanded out and down the ice. This could be icing. And if Connor Timmins would just slow up a little bit.
And he did?
He did. Looked like he got a cramp there for a moment.
Now, this has been a quick period, but shots are just 7-4. Favoring the Tampa Bay Lightning. And Joseph Woll, maybe the first 2 or 3 minutes had to be sharp, but this has been nonstop action with little going on.
Yeah, a lot in the neutral zone, a lot of turnovers. Fraser Minton with Robertson and Lorenz for Toronto. And they're still waiting. Now we got a warning from the officials. And it's around back of the net. And played out into the center ice area. Robertson has to wait for teammates to get onside. Flips it high. Got it down on the end boards, then tried to knock it away as it comes around the boards, and it's going to slide the length of the ice again. And another icing call. And we can tell you that TJ Luxmore and Justin Kia are the referees. Mark Shuchuk and Killen McNamara are the linesmen this evening.
How about this one? 3 highest paid players for the Tampa Bay Lightning. Kucherov and Point at $9.5 million each. Gensel is $9 million. They were all drafted after the first round.
Isn't that something?
Yep. Kucherov in the second. Point and Gensel were both third-round picks.
Leafs bring it back in on the left wing. Riley rings the boards with it. Matthews trapped it over there. Kicked it free for Nyes. Nyes tried to return the favor, but the Lightning get it to the line, but not out. Leafs steal it. Now Matthews couldn't get a shot, but drops it back. Nylander driving the net. He's in a goal! And he goes right through the goal crease. Vasilevsky was swimming out there, couldn't get back. Now here's Nylander centering, and it went off a leg and went wide. Willie had a great chance to take. He took it to the net, and Vasilevsky was halfway into the corner of the rink when he slowed up. Leafs get it up on the boards and out. 5 minutes to play in the first. 1-0 Toronto. Lightning back in their own zone. Played by Hagel out at center. Alex Nylander turns up on the left wing side for Benoit. Benoit got it in over the line but didn't get it deep. And the Lightning have set an alley-oop through center that is turned over and brought in over the line. Here's Yzerman going into the corner. Circles the net, works to the near corner, gets it back to the point. And a slap shot taken there by, I believe that was Darren Radish. Missed the net by 32.5 feet.
I don't know if he was looking for somebody with a little slap pass.
If it was, it wasn't very good. Now here the Lightning driving in front of the goal. It comes into the slot, a shot, and that was blocked in front by Tanev. That was comical. Played along the near boards. Gunsel with it again. Got it down into the corner. Back to the point. D-to-D pass from Radish. And a wrist shot is blocked before it reached the front of the Leaf goal. Back of the net. Tanev working diligently. Now Pontus Holmberg can't get it out. A shot comes in front. Another block. And this time it is McCabe getting it out at center. Leafs gain the zone. Drop off now for Pontus Holmberg. Tried to find Tavares in the slot. That didn't work. Back of the net. A steal in front for Pontus Holmberg, but his shot went off the stick of Victor Hedman. Boy, that was a bad turnover, and the Leafs almost cashed in on it. An alley-oop pass through center. Doesn't get to its intended receiver. Leafs back at center ice. Holmberg sends it in, and then he is plastered to the boards on a good hit by Eric Chernak. Matthews back at his own blue line. Reorganizing now with Benoit. Benoit on the right wing side. Nylander circles into the zone with a shot. That went off the mark wide. Matthews unable to get to it, then steals it back. Played it down into the corner. Nice, or at least Nylander couldn't find the handle on it. And it's played by Gonzalez out at center ice. Good hit there, spinning McDonough into the Toronto bench area. Now played back into the slot area for Tampa Bay. A long shot going off, another block. Steven Lorenz. Boy, this is a recording. That guy, he does an awful lot that doesn't show up on the big scoreboard after the game.
I'm guessing that the budget is maybe tripled for ice packs for after the game, because the Leafs are in the lanes blocking a lot more shots than they have over the last few years.
Matthew Nyes on the board, 1-0 Toronto. You're listening to Molson Leaf Hockey on Sportsnet 590, The Fan, and the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
The UEFA Champions League is back on Sirius XM FC, and this year it's bigger than ever.
Absolutely ridiculous from
Cheers, Insiders! Thank you so much for helping me create this amazing, amazing community of Toronto sports fans. We really appreciate every single one of you hanging out with us every single game, chatting it up, and having a great time cheering on our buds. Now, I just wanted to take a second to say thank you for being here. Thank you for sharing this link out. Thank you for telling your friends about it and having them come hang out with us as well and create money to be donated towards SickKids Hospital in Toronto while we're having fun cheering on our buds. We will be releasing a video here during the intermission. Make sure you check it out. It's something I've been working with Jelly Leafs HD on producing, so keep your eye out for that. Now, thank you all for being here. Let's go Leafs. Let's get back to the hockey. We got to get back on track. Let's beat the Lightning tonight. Cheers, everybody. See you back in there.
Heather O'Reilly of Sirius XM FC. Join Jessica Charman and me for the first national radio broadcast of the NWSL Final.
That's right, Heather. We'll be taking you through every thrilling moment live from Kansas City.
Join us as we make history at the 2024 NWSL Final on Saturday, November 23rd at 8 Eastern.
And it's on Sirius XM FC channel 157 and streaming on the Sirius XM app.
The biggest names in the game.
Trying to get behind Ristolainen, walks in, put it between his legs, shoots it, score!
NHL play-by-play on Sirius XM.
Radio Network.
Toronto won. The Tampa Bay Lightning no score. And 2:34 left to play in the first period. Draw in the Toronto zone, won cleanly by Tavares, played out at center ice. Marner trying to tip it into the zone, has to evacuate now as it was knocked off his stick. And then Pontus Holmberg couldn't get it in over the line any further. Lightning back pedal into their own zone. Braden Point got it ahead up on the right side, brought in by Radish. He loses the disc. It goes around back of the net. Chipped ahead for Marner. Marner with a pass ahead for Holmberg, but he couldn't handle it in his skates. Another pass by the Lightning goes down into the Leaf zone. Out of the net and punching it around the glass, but blocking it in there was Gonsalves. He plays it into the slot, and it is grabbed off by the Maple Leafs, and now Morgan Riley trying to slow things down. Drops it back, and the pass comes up on the left wing for Tavares. Tavares trying to work to the top of the circle. Got it down low. Shot taken by Lorenz. Was stopped on the short side by Vasilevsky. Lorenz centers again, and it comes all the way back to the point. But the defense were changing, or at least the forward line was changing, and Fraser Minton was trying to get to the line to keep it in, but just failed to do so.
Steven Lorenz with a pretty nifty move. Took the pass on the goal line to the right of Vasilevsky and then sort of spun and backed out before delivering the puck to the net.
Lightning get it back into their own zone. Perbix got it ahead, blocked at the Leaf blue line. And Riley will regroup it with his defense partner, and Ekman Larson got it ahead, and it's tipped down into Tampa Bay territory with 1:10 to play in the period. Lightning get it up on the left wing, but it's played back to the point. The Leafs are keeping it in with Ekman Larson. He waits quietly, then gave the puck away on a bad pass, and it's a breakaway chance now for Yzerman in a goal! Oh, what a great pad save made by Joey Wool! And now Nylander comes back the other way. Nylander in over the line, circles at the blue line. Saucered pass in front of the net for Matthews, went off his skate. What a save by Wall. Leafs turn the puck over in the center ice area again. Nylander after it, couldn't come up with it. Nyes against the boards, has it brought back to the line. Good hit by Timmins, stands up the Tampa Bay player, and it's shot into the zone with 23 seconds left to go in the period.
One of the few giveaways we've seen from Oliver Ekman-Larsson as well.
Benoit playing it into the slot area. Up on the wing it goes for Nyes. Nyes couldn't track it down. Trying to carry on with it was Matthews. Nyes gets it freed up. Nyes working to the line. Got into the zone just as the horn went to end the period. So Matthew Nyes, welcome back. And Joseph Woll, what a great save to keep the score at 1-0.
Oliver Ekman-Larsson turned towards the Tampa bench just inside the Tampa blue line, and instead of getting it deep, tried to throw it across the middle of the ice, and it was picked off. And it ends up being the best save of the night for either goaltender as Yzerman walks in from the Tampa blue line all the way in on Joseph Woll. Woll has to go quickly right to left and get his glove up to knock it away.
I'm going to say, I thought it was his pad, but he had to stretch to get that glove over there because it was about an eighth of an inch over the pad, and if the glove's not there, it's in the net.
Yeah, he stayed with him and squared up perfectly, as if he knew exactly what Yzerman was going to do.
Ailish Forfar, Justin Cuthbert coming your way with our first period intermission. The Leafs with a 1-0 lead. You're listening to Molson Leaf Hockey on Sportsnet 590, The Fan, and the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
Every NFL Sunday, you'll hear all the big plays on SiriusXM NFL Radio's Sunday Drive.
Touchdown, Buffalo!
Follow the entire league.
What's up, insiders? How we doing tonight? Lots of fun. We've got the start that we need. The 1-0 lead over Tampa. Let's get it. Here we go. Pike's Wrath in the chat. Pike, how you doing, my man? Big shout out to my man Pierre LaBelle as well for the 2 super chats. Thank you, Pierre. This community we have here, Veronica Dobias, Igor McJazz, Stefan, Mulberry Miles, Stuart Liddell. Sup, brother? How you doing, Stuart? Andrew Hurd. Wall has been solid tonight as well. Man, we got a bunch of people here in the chat. It's a lot of fun tonight. Brad Smith, great idea on the poll tonight. That was an email from Brad Smith. Do you guys have some good ideas about the polls? Send me an email, torontosportsinsider@gmail.com. I'll get them up there in the game. All right, tonight is a big night. We've been working on something. I told you guys about that video I've been working on with Leafs Jelly HD. You guys know the channel. A lot of you have subscribed to Leafs Jelly HD. If you have not, please head over there now. I will put the link up as I run the video that we've been working on together. Wow, Leafs Jelly HD, unbelievable work on this one. This just sums up our community together as a group of fans here. Mike St. Jean, Igor, Lisa Aiello, Gina Narvaez, Richard Fewer. Man, Richard, you're the man. All right, Surfing Al, you're welcome for the coverage. Here's the video, guys. I'm so excited if you guys see this. This is like dreams come true for me, y'all.
On Smice, Wayne and Sid.
They're going to the second round. Do
finding us. Thank you for sharing out the link and bringing more hockey fans to our awesome community here on TSI. And let's get back to the hockey. Go Leafs, go! Let's tear them up!
Get him on his stick! Score!
Changing the world, one insider at a time. We'll see you in the chat. And holy Mackinac, go Leafs, go.
So how do you fix it? I think you got to get.
All right, guys. Wow. I so much fun. this community, man, was started as an idea when I got the idea to start on YouTube, and wow, has it grown. This is just crazy, and I can't thank you all enough for being here. Thank you, Pierre, for the super chats tonight. And let's have some fun tonight in the chat, guys. Let's tear it up. Go Leafs, go. Let's get the W tonight over the Lightning. We're going to bring back Coach's Corner one of these days, taking it back to the intermission. We'll see you guys back in the chat. Thank you. From the bottom of my heart, cheers, everybody.
Is back in the office, baby, and he's collecting his paycheck.
Welcome back to Molson Leafs Hockey on Sportsnet 590, The Fan and the Maple Leafs Radio Network. Leafs with a 1-0 lead after 20 minutes. Eilish Warfar and Justin Cuthbert here for your intermissions. And it was great to see Nyes, Matthews getting on the score sheet right away in their returns.
Yeah, and honestly, William Nylander's not getting the point, but he made the play for that top line. It was fun to see those three out there together. It looked like it had oodles of potential. Oodles of potential on that line, and it's making me rethink my whole you got to spread the talent out, because I kind of want to see those three play together for an extended period of time, I guess at least through the end of this game. But yeah, we were talking about like how much can you lean on them. Matthews hasn't played in a month. Matthew Nyes is just coming back. William Nylander plays all the time, but that's not the point. Those guys were over the boards constantly for Craig Berube. Each over 7 minutes in the first period of total ice time. Doesn't look like anything is hindering the captain, number 34.
Yeah, I know he's looking good. I think everyone's have a keen eye on his stride, and is he wincing, and can he battle? But everything looks good so far. Knock on wood. We don't want to jinx it. So Leafs with a 1-0 lead after 20. Matthew Nyes getting on the scoreboard first. We said, and Ralphie noticed it during the game that he cooks against Tampa.
Oh, yeah. It's definitely one of his preferred teams to play. That's his 5th goal and 9th point. This is only his 7th career game versus the Tampa Bay Lightning. So doing some serious damage against this group. And yeah, he's just getting started on the night. Maybe it could be another strong period for him. Some more production from that top line, and Matthew Nyes can continue to pad his career totals against a division rival.
A couple more points from the first period. 5 forward power play. Nyes, Matthews, Marner, Willie, Tavares. It was thought of as an option, and we did see it. I don't like a 5 forward power play.
Why not? Tell me why.
It's a bit like, I feel like you pulled that out when it's a must score, third period, you're down 2-1, you need a power play goal. I don't know if it's the first period.
But why? Why that's like...
Because it's risky that you're going to...
So it's the risk factor you don't like, or...
I mean, there's no defenseman. That's what the risk problem is.
Okay.
Like, it's just structurally, I like having one defenseman back there that knows what they're doing. Proper regroup, proper breakout.
Yeah, can play a one-on-one
can
if
skate
need
backwards. Yeah, like, and not that these guys can't. I would feel a little bit better if there was a little defenseman present.
Yeah, I hear you. It is such a weird conversation around the power play. It's like hurting feelings is just not an option for the coaching staff, which seems so ridiculous for a Craig Berube team, and maybe I'm making too much of it. But it seems like, we got to have Matthew Nyes, but we cannot demote one of our core 4 members off the power play. We could never do that to one of those guys, to single one out, to not let them have power play ice, to put John Tavares in a position in a contract year where he can't enhance his value. The same with Mitch Marner or William Nylander. He's really the only guy who ever gets the short end of the stick. But even in this case, you wouldn't want him not on the power play. It just feels like, hey, you gotta make
everything
a decision.
Doesn't need to be fair.
You can't have your cake and eat it too. And I guess the cake would be Nyes in this, and you want him out there because he's actually impactful in front of the net and a solution to what has been a longstanding problem. But man, you just like there's no way you're doing 5 forwards in the playoffs. You're just not doing it. So why don't you work on the solution right now?
Totally
it's not
agree.
a meritocracy thing like, the best or the least performing player on this 5-man power play unit won't see ice time when it matters the most. No, just make the decision now and run your best unit out there and try to build over the course of a regular season.
Cook. Mic drop.
Like me or the power play?
You. Let's go to break.
All right.
You're listening to Molson Leafs Hockey on Sportsnet 590 The Fan, the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
The scrape of blades, the clash of sticks. Hockey's more than a game. It's unrelenting, never-give-up moments that make you feel alive. And so you commit to the weekly ups and downs, the long road to the playoffs. You wear your heart on your sleeve and your jersey with pride. And when you're there for your team, the NHL Shop is there for you. Check out the largest selection of official NHL gear at nhlshop.ca, a Fanatics experience.
From the biggest stadiums to the coziest holes in the wall. From house parties to porch hangs to pride celebrations. From your favorite fuzz shop to your local Indian spot. From noodle bars to sports bars to salsa bars. There's a Molson with your name on it. Canadian Ultra.
Okay, now that I've got the microphone figured out here, chat, I got to take a second to give a big shout out to 2 here in the chat, and of course more because you guys are amazing. But TSI Allison, I love you, babe. Thank you for believing in me when I was working at midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning, watching the Seattle Sounders play Minnesota United FC. Chasing my dream. So thank you, Allison, for believing in me and being the best wife and mom a man could ever ask for. And it's Hockey Night in Canada. Joel Hampton, brother, you are the bomb. Thank you for being my best friend, man, and believing in me all along, believing in the Maple Leafs since middle school. Dude, a kid in Florida, come on, really? All right, with that being said, Johan Yotun, David Kimenti, Wilfred Witzke, Mulberry Miles. Mulberry, you got to stop with Tampa winning this game. It's not happening. The Leafs got this, okay? We got this. As well, we've got Igor McJazz. Man, you've been here for a long time. Christine, cheers. Thank you for hanging out with us, Miss Nyes. Got the goal tonight. Love it. Those point shots from the middle, man, they're just amazing. I love that shot. And Tanev's got a beast of a shot. Great goal there. Let's get another one here in the second period. All right, there you go. Johan Yotun says $75K. Man, that $1 million is coming. You better believe it. This all started when my kids said, no, Dad, you can't do this. I say, yeah, I can. Watch me, kids. Watch me. We're going to do something real special together. And here we are with my wife believing in me and my friends having my back and this amazing community believing in this community to keep on growing and be able to do a real-world difference with SickKids Hospital. Crazy. All right, back to the second period. Go Leafs, go. Share this link out. Let's get more Leafs fans here in the chat. Let's have some fun. Keep it classy. Go Leafs, go. Yeah.
Toronto Maple Leafs hockey.
They score! Rocket McMahon again!
On Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Leafs Radio Network.
Welcome back to Molson Leafs Hockey on Sportsnet 590 The Fan, the Maple Leafs Radio Network. Alish Forfar and Justin Cuthbert. Leafs with a 1-0 lead after 20 minutes against Tampa Bay Lightning. Okay, we counted, and there are how many potential Four Nations face-off players on the ice tonight?
Yeah, we teased this a little bit in the pregame. We didn't have the answer, but I think we can work on the answer now. Lightning, Hedman and Point guaranteed to go. Gensel, Hagel, Sorelli, maybes. So
Sorelli
there's 5.
Feels like he's going. Everyone's really fired
There's
up
5.
about
Yeah,
him.
we might have to adjust our projections ourselves. So that's 5. Okay. Austin Matthews would be 6. Nylander 7. Marner 8. And then there's some maybes. Tanev maybe. Riley maybe. Tavares maybe. So as much or as many as 11 on the ice.
That's awesome
in this game.
And the coach.
And the coach would be 12 with John Cooper, I suppose.
Pretty good amount of players. And
some good representation for the Four Nations face-off here tonight at
and
Emily
the last chance for them to get their names in the running because the rosters will be decided by probably tomorrow, submitted Monday.
I'm sure. Yeah. Wednesday, we're getting the official unveilings, but it's probably going to be
this is last option.
Pretty nailed down by the end of the weekend.
All right, let's take a look at the NHL scoreboard presented by Bet365. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary. Bet365 must be 19 plus. Ontario only. Play responsibly. Visit ConnexOntario.ca.
Yeah, 2 games have already completed from this afternoon, and what a run the Florida Panthers on. They've beat the Hurricanes now decisively in consecutive games after beating the Leafs on Wednesday. 6-0 today over the Hurricanes, a big win for Florida. Rangers beat the Canadiens, a much-needed victory, 4-3 earlier today as well. Games ongoing. It's 1-1 Capitals and Devils. Flyers have a 1-0 lead over the Blues. Flames trailing the Penguins 1-0 end of 1. 1-1 Senators and Kings, also end of 1. And just getting underway, the Islanders have an early lead, 1-0 over the Sabres. 4 games to come tonight. Wild and Predators, Sharks and Kraken, Oilers and Avalanche, really good one, second half of Hockey Night in Canada. And Utah and the Golden Knights will do battle at 10.
And both Toronto and Montreal in the PWHL won their home openers today.
Your teams. Have you
teams.
made a decision between them yet?
Why can't I just love everybody?
I guess that's an option.
When I'm on Toronto radio, it's Scepter's baby.
Hey, there you go.
Though I am currently wearing a Montreal sweater.
You're not fully twisting in the wind, but
No.
You go where the winds blow, at least between those 2 Canadian teams.
For sure.
Joseph Wall had a tremendous first period. We should mention that he stopped Isimont on a breakaway on a brutal giveaway from Oliver Ekman-Larsson, who will not be garnering attention from Sweden, I don't think. But it's been a nice run here for Joseph Wall. 4 consecutive wins. A .929 save percentage in the month of November. He's really, really rolling here quietly and sort of in the shadow of Anthony Stolarz. It's a great problem to have 2 goaltenders performing at a really high level.
Yep, let's keep it up. Second period just around the corner, at least with a 1-0 lead thanks to a goal from Matthew Nyes, who returns to the lineup, assisted by the other guy that returned to lineup, Austin Matthews. Call of the second period is next with Jim and Joe. You're listening to Molson Leafs Hockey on Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
This week on Let's Go with Bill Belichick, Max Crosby, Peter King, and me, Jim Gray.
The great Snoop Dogg, Bill Belichick, Tom Brady.
That opportunity to meet Al Davis went a long way because he was my friend till he left this earth. And that was the beautiful thing is that in having that relationship. And I still love the Raiders to this day, especially Tom got his hands on them now. So I know there's something brewing with that, Jim.
Listen to the extended version of Let's Go, now available exclusively on the all-new SiriusXM app.
The biggest plays.
What a save!
Hits.
Hard hit.
Goals.
McDavid scores!
Tune to NHL Network Radio for the most in-depth hockey talk on the planet.
He is the GM of the Minnesota Wild.
Insiders.
The revenues and the big business.
And the best analysis on the air.
Alex Ovechkin!
The NHL on SiriusXM. Hear every team and your hometown call. NHL Network Radio. SiriusXM 91. And on demand with the SiriusXM app.
The National Women's Soccer League Championship game is coming to SiriusXM.
Hey, it's World Cup winner Heather O'Reilly of SiriusXM FC. Join Jessica Charman and me for the first national radio broadcast of the NWSL Final.
That's right, Heather. We'll be taking you through every thrilling moment live from Kansas City.
Join us as we make history at the 2024 NWSL Final on Saturday, November 23rd at 8 Eastern.
And it's on SiriusXM FC channel 157 and streaming on the SiriusXM app.
Join me, Gord Stellick, and Scott Laughlin as we recap the night that was on NHL Morning Skate, weekday mornings at 7 a.m. Eastern on NHL Network Radio, SiriusXM 91.
The biggest names in the game.
Trying to get behind Ristolainen, walks in, put it between his legs, shoots it, score!
NHL play-by-play on SiriusXM.
Join me, Scott Laughlin, and Gord Stellick, along with former NHLer Mike Johnson for NHL Morning Skate, weekday morning, 7 a.m. Eastern on NHL Network Radio, SiriusXM 91.
The best hockey lives here.
Burns gets it back, stick handles to the backhand, moves in front, score!
NHL play-by-play on SiriusXM.
The Leafs Radio Network.
Leafs lead 1-0 over the Tampa Bay Lightning. Our very good friend Mark Curtin, who is battling ALS, and it took the life of Boreas Salming not so long ago, has worked diligently at the ALS Super Fund, and they have a very big event coming. December the 5th, the day to remember. Join the Courage to Fight Together We End ALS event hosted by Ron McLean to support the ALS Super Fund. And don't miss Jim Cuddy's live performance along with appearances from NHL legends and ALS warriors. This free online event aims to unite supporters in the fight against ALS. All funds raised will benefit the ALS Super Fund. You can visit alssuperfund.ca and be a part of the change and get involved. And
that's Thursday, December 5th, 8 o'clock.
Yes. Okay.
And Ron McLean will be hosting. And, Jim Cuddy, Blue Rodeo, and some great guests. And Mark Curtin, Steve Ludzik is another former player that has battled his own health problems. And what they've done at the same time is try to help everybody else out. And I can't think of anything more admirable or courageous and selfless. For what they do.
Exactly. The selfless is a perfect word for it. Leafs moving from left to right with a shot that deflects wide of Vasilevsky. Marner now working around back of the net. Looks for Tavares. Now Marner stops up at the near half boards. Got it down into the corner. Got it back again. And a centering pass for Tavares. Didn't connect. Kept alive by the defense in along the boards. Pontus Holmberg knocks down a clearing attempt. Marner over trying to keep the puck in. And the fight goes on, and it is scooped into the corner by Tavares. Tavares bodies his man. Got it around back of the net, but Holmberg couldn't come up with it. And it is brought out at center by Gunsel and got it up on the right wing. Braden Point in with a shot. That was off a body and went wide, and as it comes to the side of the goal, Joseph Woll hits the big mitt on top of it and stops play to bring a face-off in the Toronto zone 52 seconds into the second period.
Braden Point has been red hot. 5 goals in his last 3 games, including a 3-goal night in the loss against the Washington Capitals. But of the 16 he scored on the season, 9 have come on the power play for Point. But since coming back, he missed 4 games with an injury. Since coming back, he's had 8 goals in his 6 games in that stretch.
Right to the left of Wall. Cirelli lost the draw for the Lightning. The Leafs played the puck out at center and down into the zone. And Ryan McDonough looked like he got lost on the interstate trying to get back there. To make sure that there was going to be an icing. He got going around the wrong way on the clover leaf there, Mr. Ralph.
He was not using Google Maps.
No, he was not.
There.
He was not.
He was freestyling it on the way.
Got stuck in neutral, too, I'm pretty sure. Leafs get the puck off the face-off win. Morgan Riley passes up through the middle. This is going to go right on goal on a lead pass, and Vasilevsky decides to cover up on it. And a face-off coming in the Tampa Bay zone. The Leafs return home. The Chicago Blackhawks are in town on Monday. Should be an entertaining night. That's a 7:30 start, as I recall.
One thing I missed, though, is seeing those red jerseys
on the road,
up close and personal.
Oh, yeah. Leafs win the draw. Shot by Nylander. Didn't connect. Got it into the corner. Played back to the blue line, but Riley, it was well out of his reach, and it's gone all the way back down into the Toronto zone. Riley circles the net, plays it off the glass to the line, but it's cut off there nicely by Cirelli. Down into the corner, trying to turn with it is Brendan Hagel. Hagel trying to work it into the slot area, and Riley will come up with it and get it out at center ice. Played right back into the zone by Tampa Bay. Down the boards is Geekie. Gellert in around back of the net. Cirelli trying to pry it free now in a battle there with Fraser Minton. Puck comes back to the point. McDonough with a wrist shot in traffic. That got through, and Wall got a left pad on it. Puck on the far side. Cirelli trying to free it up again. Got it around on the boards. Pinching down is Connor Geekie now on the left point. Up against the boards, the Leafs battle for it there. Robertson on his backhand, can't find anybody. Got it up the wing, and then fortunate for the Leafs, it was the Lightning who play it all the way back down into their own zone. Leafs are getting a change of players going. Minton still up there, and now he is peeled to the bench. Grabenkin has come over the boards. Minton decides to stay on momentarily as it's played into the Leaf end. Connor Timmins going back behind his goal, trying to poke it along the boards. Had it knocked away. It comes up on the wing, though. And Nylander starts away as Alex gets it out at center and down into the offensive end. But a little bit too hard, apparently, says the linesman, because icing is being called here against the Maple Leafs as it'll come back into the Toronto zone.
Connor Dewar did not seem to be a believer that this was an icing call as he stared at the linesman, stared at the referee, and tried to shrug it. But it was a great redirection by Cirelli right in front of Joseph Wall. Getting to look in the replay, you can see that was about waist high, and he deflects it down and bounced it toward the Leaf net and wanted to get his left pad out.
Lightning are wearing their third jerseys, which are the black ones, but the numbers are a lot better than the Leafs' black ones. At least you can read these. Back into the Tampa Bay zone. Radish starts out with it. Gets it up on the left wing. Flipped in by Hedman into the corner. Marner against the boards, trying to free it up and did. And on the wing, it is Nyes trying to flip it out at center ice. Tavares couldn't get free. And the puck is back into the Tampa Bay zone. Leafs are changing. Hedman got it up on the wing. Batted past the defense into the Toronto end, forcing Connor Timmins to send it around on the boards. Marner couldn't trap it. It's out at center and almost stolen, and in fact is now by Pontus Holmberg. Dropping it back for Marner. Marner works to the left wing side on the forehand. Got a shot towards the net. It was redirected, but it took all of the momentum away from it. And it rolled very slowly into Vasilevsky, and he puts the trapper on it and stops play for a face-off coming in Tampa Bay territory.
Well, both teams have really struggled to generate any kind of offense, and this was a turnover just outside the Tampa line that Pontus Holmberg was able to cash in on. Holmberg then going to the net after giving it to Mitch Marner very nearly had a great scoring opportunity. Got a piece of it going to the net.
Literally slowed it right up, though, didn't he? Lightning play it to the line. Tanev keeps it in for Toronto. Nyes, the goal scorer, up against the boards. Now Nylander couldn't get it around back of the net. Lightning tried the other side, and they'll break it out into the center ice area. Cirelli in on the left wing, and a drop pass going back into the slot. The shot hits the side of the goal and maybe on the shoulder of Wall. Nylander for the Leafs back at center. Willie sends it into the far corner. He'll stride in there to try to do some forechecking. It comes around on the boards. McDonough gets it out. Leafs trap it right at the blue line. Brought right back in again by Fraser Minton with a shot. That was off the mark wide. Rebound on the near boards. Lightning get it back to their own blue line and chip it down to the Toronto zone. And Ekman Larsson leaves it there for Morgan Riley. Riley with a pass up the middle. Brought in over the line. Robertson got tackled. No penalty call there on Lilleberg. And the puck still in the Tampa Bay zone as they try to organize in their own end. Nick Perbix got it up on the left wing. Pass partially blocked, knocked to the blue line, and now out by Alex Nylander. He'll pressure. The puck against the boards, maintained by Nylander to play it down into the corner. Alex Nylander pushing it around back of the net, but the Lightning have it there, and now it's airmailed high and out into Toronto territory. Timmins swinging it around the boards. It's going to come all the way to the near side. Alex Nylander with a pass to get it in over the line. Wrist shot by Connor Dewar is sent wide of the net. Into the corner it goes. Grabenkin around back of the net, stops it up. Grabenkin trying to come out in front, and the pass was deflected and comes back to the blue line. Leafs keep the puck in. Round back of the net. Dewar working out of the corner. Tried to reverse it, got it back to the blue line, but it comes out at center. And the Leafs are just going to launch it high into the offensive end to get a change of players going.
That was still a delayed offside, but Nikita Grabenkin said, to hell with it, I'm going after the loose puck in the Tampa zone.
Played down into the Toronto zone. Almost a turnover there in front of the net, but Tavares gets it freed up. And now Jake McCabe with a rink-wide pass. Brought in over the line, trying to drive the net. And a bouncing puck, and Pontus Holmberg let the shot go, and it hit a leg and went harmlessly wide. Marner at the point. Lets a wrist shot go. That's deflected into the goal crease area. Still free and around. Back in the net, centering for Marner. Didn't connect. Back to the point. It comes to Chris Tanev. Tanev back to the blue line, and Marner sends it off on the left wing side. McCabe couldn't get a shot. Clears it back in for Pontus Holmberg. Holmberg double teamed over on the far side. Nylander trying to help out. But the puck comes free, and now here are the Lightning bringing it to center. Hagel on the left wing. Played it into the slot. Turnover there. Nylander trying to counterattack. Willie is in over the line. Holds the puck. Doesn't shoot it. Works back towards the blue line. Still with it. Drops it off into the near boards for Matthews. Matthews stands up. Gets it back to the point. Riley. Far side for Willie. And the shot was stopped by Vasilevsky's right pad. Back to the net. Matthews trying to come out in front. And he did, but the puck rolled off his stick. And in the blue paint, Vasilevsky was able to get a glove on it and stop play. A 1-0 Toronto lead as Matthew Nyes has the only goal of the game. And you're listening to Molson Leaf Hockey on Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
Breaking news coming in from Bet365, where every nail-biting overtime win, breakaway, pick six, three-point shot, underdog win, buzzer beater, shootout, walk-off, and absolutely every play in between is amazing. From football to basketball and hockey to baseball, whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. 19 plus.
What's up, Leafs fans? Thanks for hanging out with us tonight for the Leafs on Hockey Night in Canada. There's nothing better than Saturday night hockey with the Leafs and tonight the Lightning in Tampa. The Leafs heading south for a little U.S. Thanksgiving week break. They took a break off last game. We're not doing that again tonight. Let's go, buds. Let's get the W against the Lightning. Please hit that like button down below as well. Please share this link out. Let's get more hockey fans here in the chat hanging out with us, having a good time cheering our Leafs on to victory here on Saturday Night Hockey Night in Canada. All right, let's get back to the chat. We'll see you guys back in there. Make sure you're staying tuned during the intermission. We have a special video to drop during the intermission in collaboration with Jelly Leafs HD. Can't wait for you guys to see it. See you guys back in there. Go Leafs, go.
2.99% APR for 28 months with $2,000 down. Offer includes $1,500 lease bonus. OAC conditions apply. See HondaOntario.com.
You're listening to Toronto Maple Leafs hockey.
Domi! That was up the rebound. Scores! Max Domi!
On Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Leafs Radio Network.
1-0 Toronto. Goal by Matthew Nyes. Set up by Chris Tanev's point shot and Austin Matthews. Picking up his 7th assist of the season. And welcome back to both Matthews and Nyes.
That was the very first shot of the game for the Leafs. Redirection with Nyes right in front of Vasilevsky. Tipped it along the ice 5-hole. And right now, shots are 12 apiece.
Dog. One cleanly by Tampa and flipped to center ice. Bouncing puck. Riley has difficulties with. Into the corner it goes. And dug out by the Lightning, who get it back to the point. And a pass in front of the net. Deflected into the corner away from Ryan McDonough. Played around on the far side. Lilleberg trying to get it in front. And it's swallowed up there by Joseph Wall. And he'll hold on.
The else the Leafs might want to keep an eye on is Anthony Cirelli. You know, you always talk about roster moves are made, whether it was Steven Stamkos leaving or the injury to Braden Point, but Anthony Cirelli has 8 goals in his last 8 games. Power play goal and a shorthanded goal on the year. So he's got 10 goals on the year. Last season was a career-high 20-goal season for Cirelli, so he's well on his way to eclipsing that.
Face off in the Toronto zone. 12:41 to go in the second period. And the point of order is taking a while here to drop this puck. Today? Oh, finally he waves. I would have loved to have heard what was going on there, because there was no extra movement. It had to be verbal. And the linesman finally had enough and said, "You're gone." And the puck is pushed to the line and out before it's shot back in again into the Toronto end. Holmberg around back of the net for Tanev. Swept off the glass to the line. Not out, but Tavares leaves it now. And Jake McCabe able to push it up to Tavares on the left wing. Closing in. Drop pass in front, and Holmberg shot it off his stick and it went up off the glass. He was set up perfectly there. Puck comes in front of the net again, and it's stick handled into the corner by Braden Point. Point having difficulties there with Holmberg and Tavares. Tavares knocked down on the play. The puck is up against the boards. Tavares trying to get back onto his skates. Holmberg able to keep it in. It comes back to Chris Tanev. He closes, scores! Chris Tanev coming off the right point, snaps it in to give the Maple Leafs a 2-0 lead.
And Joe, this is all set up by the work the Leafs do on the far boards in front of their own bench. Tavares was taken down, but then it was Holmberg, Marner, and Tavares that continued to battle, and who ends up with it but Mitch Marner. And he looks up, looks at the far point, finds Tanev, and Tanev walks in from the right point. And you almost thought that he was going to try to hit John Tavares for the redirection, who was going to the far post. Tavares was pretty well tied up, and Tanev just lets it go blocker side on Vasilevsky to give the Leafs a 2-0 lead.
First Toronto Maple Leaf goal for Chris Tanev. And the Toronto native has got himself a goal and an assist. As it's played out into the center ice area and stood up there. Good hit by Benoit. Timmins takes his man into the corner. Minton tried to dig the puck free, and he have. And Simon Benoit with a pass up through the middle gets it ahead. Minton in across the line. Left wing side, Robertson. Robertson closes, scores! Nicky Robertson from a bad angle snaps it over the shoulder, and it is 3-0 in favor of the Maple Leafs very quickly.
I wonder what the line would be on Tanev and Robertson scoring in the same period, let alone the same game, as Robertson, who had gone 12 straight without a goal, walks in off the left wing, and he goes short side high over the right shoulder of Vasilevsky. And I will say this, Joe, and both those goals, Andrei Vasilevsky in other years you think would be rather routine saves. But Nick Robertson and Chris Tanev, and all you can see is the look of relief on the face of Nick Robertson.
Well, look of relief on Nick Robertson and look of surprise on Christopher Tanev.
Yes. Yeah.
It went in. Not exactly Bobby Orr.
Well, Tanev's last goal was actually in March of last year in Anaheim.
Okay. Played into the corner. Dewar got it knocked down. It's played to the line and poked out at center ice, and Riley backpedals into his own zone before playing it out. Leafs can't get it in deep into the Tampa Bay zone, and then falling on the play there was Moser. Almost a big turnover, and now the Leafs have turned it over. Brought on by Nyes, and a whistle behind the play.
Is there too many men on the ice penalty maybe coming up against the Leafs?
Toronto, it's a bench minor penalty.
Yep.
Too many men on the ice.
And there it is, and boy, you build a 3-0 lead, and you gift wrap an opportunity back the other way. We're not quite at the pace we were last year, but
and who was supposed to get off? It looks like it's the defense. Yeah, Tanev was coming on to replace Ekman Larsson, and Ekman Larsson stayed with the play, and that puts the Lightning to their first power play opportunity of the game. And the penalty kill brought to you by your Ontario Honda dealers. Up your game. Lease the CRV from 2.99% up to 28 months. Visit HondaOntario.com. Matthews to take the face-off against Anthony Cirelli. And Marner has joined him as the penalty-killing forwards. And the draw won by Matthews. Forces the puck to the far side, and getting to it quickly was McCabe, who rattles it off the boards and sends it down the ice. Hedman having difficulties with it, lost the puck. Now it is brought on at center ice by Point. Dropped off. Point gets it in across the line. Battle for it as it comes to the left wing side. Gunsel with a shot. Blockered into the corner by Wall. Gunsel getting it back to the point to Victor Hedman. Victor Hedman on the left wing side for Gunsel. No Kucherov on this power play. because of his injury, and a shot deflected off the leg of Tanev and went wide of the goal. Puck around back of the net. Leafs get to it first. Clearing attempt, doesn't make it. Kept alive by Tampa Bay. Shooting from an angle left, deflected in front of the goal. Wall down. And somewhere in a maze of legs, Wall has it. And then Gunsel, after the fact, tried to tip it into the net. Mitch Marner has a laugh at his expense, and Joseph Wall just picks the puck up with his hand and throws it to the face-off circle, saying, I had it all along.
And TJ Luxmore was giving the sign that Wall had covered up, but boy, yeah, it was being pitchforked there, wasn't it? Anthony Cirelli took about 4 or 5 whacks at it, was trying to pitchfork Joseph Wall before being grabbed by Jake McCabe in the blue paint.
Tell you what, Wall made a pretty good save with the right pad after the whistle to make sure. So a 3-0 Toronto lead and a big penalty kill here. Hedman back at the point. Sends it down into the corner. At the side of the net, looking in front of the net for Hagel. It comes back to Hedman. Hedman to the far side, and a shot is blocked in front of the net off the stick of Anthony Cirelli, and the Leafs are going to get it out and down the ice. 46 seconds left to go on the penalty. Wholesale changes for the Leaf penalty killers. Long change here in the second period. 3-0 Toronto. Hagel dropping the puck back. Through center ice comes Braden Point. Pulls up into the Leaf zone. Gets it back to the blue line to Hagel. Over it goes to Hedman. Hedman to the far side. Down into the corner looking for Point in front of the net. It goes to the right wing side. Gunsel gets it to the side of the net. A jam play doesn't work. Hammered there by the Leafs and got it to the line. Not out. And then tipped ahead and knocked out at center ice there on a great bit of diligence by Steven Lorenz. Another deflected pass goes back, and the Leafs are going to get a couple more changes into the penalty kill. Lightning bring it in over the line. Braden Point sets up on the right wing side, closes, got it down low, centering pass, and it's shot wide, and the rebound has come all the way back out into the center ice area as the penalty has expired. Grabenkin is up for checking along with Tavares. Lead pass goes down into the Toronto zone. Ekman Larson leans on his man to free the puck up for the Leafs to play it around on the boards. Kept in with a shot that bounces in front of the net. Had a whistle here. High stick making contact, I believe, says the official. And so the play will be whistle dead, and that will probably mean the face-off coming outside the blue line. But the Leafs have gotten some goals from some unlikely sources here tonight, namely Chris Tanev and a relieved Mr. Robertson. You're listening to Molson Leaf Hockey on Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
This Thanksgiving, gobble up something good on the SiriusXM app. From dinner party mixes to a feast of live football, food podcasts, and more fall fixings.
Jarrett back, looking, lofting right side. Amon-Ra St. Brown, touchdown Detroit Lions.
We're serving up the perfect soundtrack for any moment this holiday weekend. Just search Thanksgiving in the SiriusXM app.
24/7 Hockey Talk.
To understand that you are allowed to legally still check the head, not just the head. The head by itself is a penalty. If you wanted to change it, that would be like in the IIHF. That's probably a penalty at the Olympics. That's probably at the World Juniors. That guy's gone and suspended. I ask you, do you want that?
SiriusXM, NHL Network Radio, SiriusXM 91, and on your schedule with the SiriusXM app. Hockey 24/7 on SiriusXM NHL Network Radio.
The only 2 players in the history of the National Hockey League to have 600 goals, 1,600 points, 3 Stanley Cups, and 2 Conn Smythes. Wayne and Sid. Just like it absolutely blows your mind how good Sidney Crosby is and how much we take him for granted.
SiriusXM NHL Network Radio, SiriusXM 91, and on your schedule with the SiriusXM app.
Join me, Gord Stellick, and Scott Laughlin as we recap the night that was on NHL Morning Skate, weekday mornings at 7 a.m. Eastern on NHL Network Radio, SiriusXM 91.
The Leafs Radio Network.
Tanev from Marner and Holmberg, and then Robertson from Minton and Benoit. And the goals come 33 seconds apart to give the Maple Leafs a 3-0 lead here in the second period with 8:02 to play in it.
And it was very rare to see anyone beat Andrei Vasilevsky off the wing. And that's two of them here in the second period.
Leafs get it to center, play it in on the wing for Tavares. He sweeps it into the slot. Oh, and a centering effort in front of the goal was tipped away as Holmberg was there, but Marner couldn't get him the puck. Back come the Lightning with a pass into the slot. A shot. Wall knocking that aside with his right pad, and it's cleared by Toronto into neutral ice. Perbix sends it around the boards. It'll clear back into the Toronto end. Here's a chance now for the Lightning, and a shot is blockered away by Wall. Good save there, as breaking in was Anthony Cirelli. Cirelli around back of the net, trying to roll it in front. Wall is there. And he just seems so calm and so cool and collected and just so sharp.
Yeah, and it took him a couple of games to get back. But now we're seeing the guy that made 25 appearances last year in a Leaf uniform. By the way, that last 2-on-1 where Wall made the blocker save, Connor Timmins. It's a 2-on-1. Connor Timmins, this is old school, says, I'll take the pass. I'm pretty confident with our goaltending to take the shot coming off the wing. Like we mentioned, Vasilevsky's been beat off the wing. Connor Timmins says, I think our guy's good.
Played around back of the Toronto goal. Up on the near boards. Nylander getting it ahead at center. That went off Nyes' stick. Matthews couldn't come up with it. Nylander had it knocked off his stick into the Toronto zone. Flipped by Hagel, got length the boards. Broken up by the Maple Leafs. Played out at center ice. Nyes with one man back. Nyes dropping it back. Trying to backhand it in front of the net was Matthews. And that was blocked. Nylander getting it back to the point. D-to-D pass to the left wing side. Benoit down the boards. Benoit around back of the net. Got tied up there. Good hit there by Chernak. And the Leafs have to go back into their own zone. It's going to go right on goal, so there's no icing. Connor Timmins. Little head fake to get the puck ahead at center. Backhanded again into Tampa Bay territory with 6:18 to play in the second period. Outlet pass broken up. Leafs keep it in with a shot, and it's into the glove of Vasilevsky this time. And he will hold for a faceoff with 6:10 left to play in the second period.
Forget Vasilevsky didn't last to the second period in the previous meeting between these two clubs. Gave up 10 goals.
Whoa!
4 goals on 14 shots. And now you add him, that's 30 shots this season against the Leafs, 7 goals against.
Are you sure?
Don't make me look.
I saw you loosening your shoelaces. I wasn't sure whether you had gotten all of the math done.
Let's just get pucks deep and win the one-on-one battles.
Play down in on Vasilevsky. He's going to play it off on the right wing board. People must have, boy, those guys must have failed every math test they had. Yes, we did.
Not that we showed up for all of them.
What was the purpose? Wasn't going to pass it anyway. Just wasting my time. Here are the Lightning back into the offensive zone. Working it back to the point. It comes off on the wing. Trying to get a shot was Perbix. It's deflected wide.
Ooh.
And a Leaf is down. And I'm not sure who that is.
Connor Dewar, maybe. And
no, it's McCabe. And the shot came
22,
up.
Yep.
Now, I don't see any blood on the ice, so that's good news. But if he took it in the throat area or up there, but it was definitely a rising shot off a deflection. And Jake McCabe is down on all fours, and the training staff is out to take a look.
And we're going to have to get a look at this again, as Alex Nylander is out with Connor Dewar and Gurbankin up front. And Jake McCabe appears to be at least communicating with the training staff. He's on all fours right in front of Joseph Wall in the Leaf goal. And defensemen like to have blocked shots. But, oh boy, this caught him, I think, maybe on the ear.
Side of the head, yeah. He was turning And you know what? Even the back, almost the back of the neck and the where the helmet just comes down. But we'll figure it out, and hopefully he is all right. You're listening to Molson Leaf Hockey on Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
Craig. Craig likes it warm. Craig loves 71 degrees Fahrenheit. Craig doesn't understand Fahrenheit.
Cheers, Insiders! Thank you so much for helping me create this amazing, amazing community of Toronto sports fans. We really appreciate every single one of you hanging out with us every single game, chatting it up, and having a great time cheering on our buds. Now, I just wanted to take a second to say thank you for being here. Thank you for sharing this link out. Thank you for telling your friends about it and having them come hang out with us as well and create money to be donated towards SickKids Hospital in Toronto while we're having fun cheering on our buds. We will be releasing a video here during the intermission. Make sure you check it out. It's something I've been working with Jelly Leafs HD on producing, so keep your eye out for that. Now, thank you all for being here. Let's go Leafs. Let's get back to the hockey. We got to get back on track. Let's beat the Lightning tonight. Cheers, everybody. See you back in there.
Does things for you that are unheard of, like keeping 41,000 items in stock in our own warehouses. With customer service reps on the line to get you what you need when you need it 24/7, 365 every time. Maybe you heard it here first. Want to hear more? Visit uline.ca. ULINE, your shipping and industrial supply specialists.
You're listening to Toronto Maple Leafs hockey.
He's got a partial breakaway. Scores! Holy mackerel, what a dagger!
On Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Leafs Radio Network.
The Leafs 3 and the Tampa Bay Lightning no score. 5:19 left to play in the second period. Jake McCabe.
He went right to the dressing room. Once he went off, that could be precautionary. A little over 5 minutes to go here in the second period.
Marner bringing the puck into the offensive zone. He's got Tanev breaking to the net and a shot. Looking for the short side. Had to go off the shoulder of Vasilevsky over top of the net. Centering pass. Out is Marner again. Back to the slot again. Tanev with a wrist shot that didn't make it through. Tanev playing it around back of the net. Pontus Holmberg got it out in front. And it was swallowed up by the goalkeeper at the side of the net. Chris Tanev is turning into Bobby Orr.
Well, he did it once, but he's missed the next three opportunities. But boy, he nearly sniped that short side over the left shoulder of Vasilevsky.
He did.
When you're hot, right?
Second period brought to you by Desjardins Insurance. Get insurance that's really big on care. 4:52 to play in the second period. 2 goals in the second frame for the Maple Leafs, 33 seconds apart, have extended the lead to 3-0. Pass goes out into the center ice area, brought on the right wing side. Chernak with a shot deflected wide by Wall. Kept alive by the Lightning around the boards. It'll come. Chernak with another pass in front. That's a bouncing disc that finally goes to the side of the net. Matthews with a nice little play to lift the stick of the Tampa Bay player and just steal the puck from him. He is so good at that.
Well, it's quickness and strength, isn't it?
Yep. Now the Lightning trying to center in front. Stolen back by Nylander. Nylander haphazardly played it ahead, and that was turned away, and now it's rolled in on goal where Wall makes the save and holds on. And those are the things that you can't do. He had all kinds of time, a very simple, just going to lift it out, not making a play, and you take for granted and you kind of do it haphazardly and nonchalantly, and it's a turnover and Wall has to make a save. And those are the things that Willie does repeatedly that he needs to clean up in his game.
Yeah, and there were other options as well, which was chip it off the boards, right?
Yep.
Instead of going right up the middle of the ice.
Lightning win the face-off. Another shot off a body. Robertson this time plays it off the glass and gets it out into the center ice area. Lightning will backpedal into their own zone. Braden Point looks to go rink wide. Pass up on the left wing for Gunsel. Gunsel into the slot. Good stick there. It comes back into the slot area. Gunsel turning with it. Try to work along the boards. Good hit there by Lorenz, and the Leafs get it ahead, and Robertson trying to sprint down the left wing. Winds and shoots, and that was deflected off a body and went wide. But maybe he might have been able to take that a little deeper. Back to the point, it comes to Benoit, and his drive is blocked in front of the net. Puck comes along the boards. Fraser Minton trying to help out. Pokes it back towards the defense and is able to steal it back and get it into the Tampa Bay zone, and the Leafs are changing. 3:07 to play. A pass up on the left wing is deflected into the Toronto zone. Down into the corner, fed back of the net by Glendening. Oliver Ekman-Larsson didn't go after it. It comes back in along the boards. Benoit battles his man. Dewar chases now. Back on the far boards. Trying to come out with it is Yzerman. Got it to the left wing side, and a shot was off a stick of Moser and deflects way up into the screen and out of play. And another face-off coming in the Toronto end. And the Leafs doing a good job of boxing people out, making them shoot from angles, and blocking shots once again.
Yeah, and I'd say, easily the best save, the most important save for Joseph Wall in this game was the breakaway stop off Yzerman in the first period. I believe it was still scoreless then, was it not?
Leafs have had 10 blocked shots. There's another one. And it is cleared off the glass and out at center ice by Pontus Holmberg. Shot back in, but it's going to clear the glass this time by the Lightning and go up into the seats at the Amalie Arena. Leafs 3. Tampa Bay no score.
Shots on goal favoring the Lightning 13-11 here in the second period, but the Leafs have outscored Tampa 2-0.
Draw one by Toronto. Marner gets it back to the D. They play it off on the wing. Timmins getting it ahead for Holmberg. Holmberg turns, looks ahead for Tavares, then flips it in and goes in there after it. Got tangled up, and one hands it back of the net for Tavares. Played back to the blue line to Marner. Marner with a wrist shot coming, and without the screen. Vasilevsky saw that fairly cleanly and gloves that and holds on. Tavares was trying to get there, but really didn't get there to provide anything of a screen for Andrei Vasilevsky. 2 minutes and 10 seconds remaining to be played here in the second period.
These games in Florida sure got a lot more important in the last few years.
That Sunshine State has become a pretty big hockey hotbed, hasn't it? Played out at center, tipped to the Leaf blue line and in. Played back up on the wing. Matthews chipping it along. Nyes tried to one-hand it around the defense, but failed. And now a delayed offside, and the Leafs have to tag up. Lightning back behind their goal. Chernik waiting for teammates to come back before he steps out from behind the net with Nyes up there. A puck along the boards. Got past Matthews. Torelli got it into the corner. Trying to play it out in front was Geekie. It comes back to the point. McDonough unable to shoot it cleanly, and when he did, it was deflected into the corner and now banked hard off the boards to center ice, and here's Matthews. One-on-one in over the line, shooting, and it's into the chest of Vasilevsky unheld as Austin Matthews let the shot go with Chernik being utilized as a bit of a screen.
Hey, Matthews looks like he's had a lot more energy, right? A lot more jump. And usually when you don't have that quickness or that strength, it's usually injury related.
For him it is. Absolutely. Yep.
We've seen him even when you talked about the stick lift. That wasn't as predominant as we had seen throughout his career early on in the season.
Leafs keep the puck in around back of the net. Tavares trapping it in the far corner. Stops at the half boards. Taken there by Gunsel. Got it down into the corner. Leafs get it back to the point. Riley off on the wing. Holds. Wrist shot coming. That was knocked away. The backhand scores! Tavares! That was almost a delayed reaction. Gunsel was in front of the net. The puck was shot from the blue line. It was stopped. But there was JT, and Johnny Toronto backhands it home, and it is exploded to a 4-0 lead.
I mean, Tavares had to look and find this. There wasn't a whole lot Vasilevsky could have done here. Because I don't think Vasilevsky knows where it is until it pops down onto the ice. And John Tavares, who almost the same area he scored a series-winning playoff goal in overtime, was able to turn around and backhanded blocker Simon Vasilevsky. So the Leafs have struck 3 times here in the second period to increase their lead to 4-0.
You mean the one we thought Morgan Riley scored?
Yes.
That one?
At least we knew who that was this time.
Well, exactly. Leafs back in their own zone. Less than a minute to play in the period. Shot down into the Toronto end. Vasilevsky leaving it at the side of the net for Lilleberg. And now another turnover, and the Leafs try to center again. Robertson couldn't get to it. Robertson pokes it down into the corner. Comes out of the corner to get it back to the point. Tanev keeping it in with a shot that goes wide, and down into the left wing boards it goes. Final 16 seconds in the period. A 3-goal explosion in the middle stanza. And the Maple Leafs are going to carry a substantial lead into the third. With the final seconds ticking down, and Chris Tanev has it back in the net to get it freed up. And there is the horn.
Well, Mitch Marner with a point in this game has extended his point streak to 6. John Tavares now extends his to 5. 2 goals and 7 points in the last 5 games for John Tavares.
Ailish and Justin coming along with our second period intermission. The Leafs with a 4-0 lead in Tampa. And you're listening to Molson Leaf Hockey on Sportsnet 590, The Fan and the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
Denver Broncos organization is a team that has done a tremendous job.
When it happens in the NFL, we're reacting to it on SiriusXM NFL Radio.
Saquon Barkley, he is special. Howie Roseman, Jeffrey Lurie, the owner, they were sitting there just smiling. We have found ourselves a gem.
Get closer to the game with interviews with players, coaches, and executives.
Coach of the Buffalo Bills, Sean McDermott.
We've got the best fans in the NFL and maybe all professional sports.
Nobody covers the game like SiriusXM NFL Radio, Channel 88.
NHL Morning Skate.
Logan Thompson with the Washington Capitals.
So talk about a team that kind of found the ropes again.
Yeah, we've run a lot of young guys who, have a lot of talent, and we're just looking.
What's up, insiders? It's that time of the night for you to let us know where you're watching from. Let's see how many people all over Canada, all over the United States, and all over the world are hanging out with us here on TSI. The dogs are barking. They're excited. They can't wait to see where you're watching from. I want to see lots of Canadian flags in the chat, USA flags, countries, provinces, states, cities, everything. Let's see how Canada does Hockey Night in Canada and the world does Hockey Night in Canada here on TSI. Now let's get back to the chat. Go Leafs, go! And let's have some fun in there. Keep it classy.
XM 91 and on demand with the SiriusXM app. 24/7 hockey talk.
To understand that you are allowed to legally...
Oh, yeah, here we are back in the intermission. What's up, everybody? 1,362 insiders hanging out. Well, probably not, because probably not all 1,362 of you have subscribed. But regardless, we got Edson in the chat, Jeff Mitterling, Andrew Hurd, Mario Villiella, Jeff Carroll, Brad Smith, Mr. Roboto, Wilfred Whiskey, Pikes Wrath, Steve C. in the house, Fort Perry, Ontario, what's up? S. Cope, Kitchener, Ontario representing. There's Northern Farm Girl. Good to see you, Northern Farm Girl. All right. This is awesome. They were just talking in the commercial there about the coach for the Bills, the best team in football. We're going to be live for the Buffalo Bills game this Sunday, tomorrow. Is it tomorrow? I don't even know what day it is. I'm so thrown off by U.S. Thanksgiving down here. But anyways, Bills tomorrow. It's going to be a fun one. Make sure you stop by, hit that like button, and hang out with Bills Mafia. Hey! Okay. Anyways, I got to rerun that video during the intermission. Man, what a video. For those of you who are not here in the first intermission, I'm playing it now. Go Leafs, go. Thank you for being a part of this amazing community.
Another shot, red and blocked. Another chance. Game over. Bless you, boys. What a game.
second round. Do you believe this? Holy mackerel! Point taken. 2-0 Toronto. 2-on-1. Minor in over the line looking for Tavares.
Thank you for finding us. Thank you for sharing out the link and bringing more hockey fans to our awesome community here on TSI. And let's get back to the hockey. Go Leafs, go! Let's tear them up.
Get him on his stick. Score! Changing the world, one insider at a time. We'll see you in the chat. And holy Mackinac, go Leafs, go!
Unbelievable. Thank you to Leafs Jelly HD for putting that together. And thank you for the support tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, Pierre LaBelle, $10 super chat, $5 super chat, $5 super chat, $5 super chat. Wheelie as well. Wheelie, thank you so much for the super chat. Ladies and gentlemen, keep them coming. And that video, absolutely awesome. This community, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for sharing this link out. Thank you for hitting the like button and hanging out with us every single game. Now, I got to take it back to the intermission. The Buds are rolling 4-0 in the intermission. Let's get back to the intermission report. Go Leafs, go. We'll see you back in the chat.
Whatever happens in the third period notwithstanding here, the fact that you have a 9-1 aggregate lead over Tampa in the first two periods of the two meetings this season says a lot about how the games have gone. That's domination. This has been an impressive showing against Tampa so far this year.
And both of those against Andrei Vasilevskiy. They've scored 8 goals in less than 4 periods against him. I wonder if he'll come out to start the third. I mean,
He probably has to because they played Jonas Johansson
whoever
last night.
their other goaltender is not ready. But those were basically all straight snipes. Chris Tanev comes down. First of all, he gets the scoring started in that period. Great to see it. That's his first Toronto Maple Leafs goal, which is awesome. Obviously, a local kid comes home and he scores just a shot past Vasilevskiy. Yep. Then you got another one where it was Nick Robertson. It was a snipe, short side snipe, but just straight up shot past Vasilevskiy. The Tavares one, he kind of backhands it, and whether Vasilevskiy thought the puck was coming or not, just goes straight in the net. So, yeah, it wasn't his best period, but you're right. If they don't have someone else put in the third, they a lot of confidence in net right now.
Yeah, and historically, Andrei Vasilevskiy he doesn't like getting pulled. He just stays in, and that's why it was so rare the first time these teams played where they did chase Andrei Vasilevskiy, because that almost never happens. And again, I don't think it will happen just based on scheduling alone here tonight. But yeah, another opportunity then. Like, these teams might face each other in the playoffs. So the first round, second round, I'm not really sure, but it's definitely a possibility. And if you keep pouring it on Andrei Vasilevskiy, he's going to be thinking about the Toronto Maple Leafs and the nightmares of this season. So keep the goal scoring coming. I wouldn't take the foot off the gas at all. And if you remember last time they met, they did take the foot off the gas. They didn't win the third period. I believe Craig Berube gave it to them a little bit in that third period. So maybe this is another reason to believe that the third will be strong, because if we're comparing it back to the first meeting, you want it to be a little bit differently 60. This time. Yeah.
Complete 60 would be great, especially after their loss on Wednesday night to Florida Panthers, which, was one of their most disappointing games of that stretch without Austin Matthews, where they went 7-2. I mean, only lost 2 times, and that one was a bit of a bummer. So keeping this momentum going into the third, really dominating Tampa and just shutting them up in their own building would be awesome. And a lot of credit goes to Joseph Woll. Of course, it's a 4-0 lead right now for the Leafs, but he's been super locked in since he's kind of had his opportunity. Him and Stolarz kind of going back and forth, but in his last 4 games, he's won all 4 of them: Utah, Vegas, Washington, and Montreal. And historically against the Lightning, he's been pretty good, a .933 save percentage and 22 goals against average. And in his last couple games that he's played, he's just looking really locked in. He's looking very confident. He's only got 2 goals scored over his last 9 regulation periods. and a .979 save percentage throughout that stretch. So you cannot ask for much more. He's seen the puck well. He looks very calm. He looks very confident, and that is exactly the Joseph Woll you want.
This is a credit to his demeanor, his personality, his professionalism, honestly. Like, you got this new shiny toy, Anthony Stolarz, who comes in, and day one, because you had some tightness, takes the job, right?
Yep.
Like, Stolarz took over this Maple Leafs crease. And you got to be thinking, wow, like, this was mine. This is what I was promised, or at least the contract said it was promised. And I lose my job because I can't be there night one. And this guy's performing at such a high level. But he didn't think that way. He just kept playing. And he's been so good this month. He's been so good this season. Honestly, now we can just look at the entire body of work and think, well, he's been not as good, I would say, but pretty damn close. Like, this is becoming a full-blown competition, as it should be, and that's the best case scenario for the Maple Leafs goaltending standpoint, where you're just never worried about who you're putting out there because both are performing at such a high level. The fact that Joseph Woll didn't take his ball and go home when it looked like he lost his job is really a credit to him, and the Maple Leafs should be really happy with their goaltending situation.
4-0 lead after 40. We'll take a quick break. We'll come back and give you the out-of-town scoreboard and get you set for third period. You're listening to Molson Leafs Hockey on Sportsnet 590, The Fan, and the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
From the biggest stadiums to the coziest holes in the wall. From house parties to porch hangs to pride celebrations. From your favorite fuzz shop to your local Indian spot. From noodle bars to sports bars to salsa bars. There's a Molson with your name on it. Canadian Ultra XL. Molson. Everyone in. Must be legal drinking age.
The scrape of blades, the clash of sticks. Hockey's more than a game. It's unrelenting, never give up moments that make you feel alive. And so you commit to the weekly ups and downs, the long road to the playoffs. You wear your heart on your sleeve and your jersey with pride. And when you're there for your team, the NHL shop is there for you. Check out the largest selection of official NHL gear at nhlshop.ca. A Fanatics experience.
As fall approaches and birds head south, a different kind of bird emerges, the Subaru. While migratory flocks seek warmth, Subaru's symmetrical full-time all-wheel drive keeps drivers soaring through the wild. During the migrating season, Subaru's hunger for adventure grows exponentially, driving the intrigued radio listeners to fall for Subaru at their local Subaru dealerships, experiencing an adventure of their own. So migrate to your local Subaru dealership to book a test drive today.
Breaking news, Bet365. Must be 19 or older, Ontario only. Please play responsibly. If you or someone you know has concerns about gambling, visit connectsontario.ca.
Desjardins Insurance cares a lot about their clients. In fact, it's packed with such a ginormous amount of vast and substantial care that's bursting with even more whoppingly humongous and colossal care. You might be a little surprised when we tell you that all of that care fits in the palm of your hand. With the Desjardins Insurance mobile app, you'll get a big hand with 24/7 paper-free access to all of your home and auto policies, including your digital pink slip. Get insurance that's really big on care at Desjardins.com/care.
Getting my Honda CR-V has opened the door to adventure. With Econ Mode to maximize fuel efficiency, I'm free to explore. And with tons of cargo space, it's easy to pack for getaways. My dog, camping gear. It's like I've discovered a wild, adventurous side of me. Whoop, Alice is excited too.
Lease the CR-V LX two-wheel drive for $99 weekly at 2.99% APR for 28 months with $2,000 down. Offer includes $1,500 lease bonus. OAC conditions apply. See HondaOntario.com.
You're listening to Toronto Maple Leafs hockey. On Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Leafs Radio Network.
Welcome back to Molson Leafs Hockey on Sportsnet 590, The Fan, and the Maple Leafs Radio Network. It's a 4-0 lead, thanks to some goals from Tavares, Robertson, Tanev, and Nice. What a great collection that you wish you bet.
Hey, some really, really important players for the Maple Leafs contributing on the score sheet. And that's been the story for John Tavares all season long. 21 points now in 22 games, dominating the faceoff circle, and doing so in front of the Team Canada head coach.
I was going to say, between him and Tanev, On the outside looking in, who's got a better chance of making this roster?
Ooh. I would say Tanev. I think Tanev would be unbelievably useful for a Team Canada
and he's
group.
doing it in front of his potential coach tonight.
Yeah. That would be a nice surprise if Chris Tanev, the guy, the prize in free agency, the guy they've been chasing for a couple years, at least it seemed, was given that credit. It would be pretty validating, I think, for Brad Treliving.
All right, let's take one last look here at the NHL scoreboard presented by Bet365. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary. Bet365 must be 18 plus. Ontario only. Play responsibly. Visit connexontario.ca.
Okay, 2 games are final. As stated previously, the Rangers beat the Canadiens 4-3. Much needed victory, and the Panthers blew out the Hurricanes 6-0. Second victory over them this week. The Capitals have a 4-2 lead, end of second, over the Devils. Flyers 1-0, end of second, over the St. Louis Blues. Penguins are whipping the Flames. It's 3-0, end of 2. Senators and Kings deadlocked at 2, end of the second period. Islanders holding on to a 2-0 lead over the Sabres. They're about midway through the second. It's 1-1 Predators and Wild. And still to come tonight, Sharks and Kraken, Oilers and Avs, Hockey Club and Golden Knights.
It's good. I loved watching Nick Robertson score that goal and just let it fly. He really needed that. So we'll see if that sparks something, because I think he's been held in this lineup a little bit, luckily, because of some injuries. Maybe this means he unlocks something new.
Yeah, no matter where you slice it or how you slice it, he's here to score goals. And if he's not, it ain't working. So that's a step in the right direction for old Nicky Robertson.
It was a kind of monkey off the back type feeling, right?
Oh, yeah.
You heard it through the broadcast. We heard it through the radio broadcast, and even the Leafs, when they tweeted out the photo, said you can hear this photo.
Mm-hmm.
So everyone's aware. So him getting on the score sheet, and Tanev with his first as a Maple Leaf. So some special goals so far. We'll send it to the third period where Joe Bowen and Jim Ralph will have the call. You're listening to Molson Leafs Hockey on Sportsnet 590, The Fan, and the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
It's the holidays, and SiriusXM's Doctor Radio is here to help with a healthy holiday survival guide. Enjoy your holiday meals without overdoing it.
Try and avoid indigestion, bloating, and reflux.
Managing you and your family's mental health.
Seasonal depression, relationship struggles, stress, and burnout.
It's Doctor Radio's Healthy Holiday Survival Guide. Available now on the SiriusXM app. Spread the word. Anyone can enjoy SiriusXM in the car during our Listen Free event, happening now through December 2nd.
The biggest plays.
What a save!
Hits.
Hard hit.
Goals.
McDavid scores!
Tune to NHL Network Radio for the most in-depth hockey talk on the planet.
He is the GM of the Minnesota Wild.
Insiders.
The revenues and the big business.
And the best analysis on the air.
Alex Ovechkin!
The NHL on SiriusXM. Hear every team and your hometown call. NHL Network Radio. SiriusXM 91. And on demand with the SiriusXM app.
Score!
The National Women's Soccer League Championship game is coming to SiriusXM.
Hey, it's World Cup winner Heather O'Reilly of SiriusXM FC. Join
Whoa,
Jessica.
look at that super chat, Andrew Hurd. Thank you, Andrew. So much appreciated, man. $20 super chat. That is amazing. I've got to add the names to the list here, and I will type it here momentarily. But I had to take a second off the game upstairs. It's amazing, guys. I've got the game on the TV with the kids. We're playing some card game, Kids Against Humanity or something. I don't know, weird. But Sean Price, mate, cheers, mate. I don't even have a drink but my bottle of water from this afternoon. Cheers, mate. Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you for gifting the membership to Northern Farm Girl. I love it. NFG in the house. Thank you for hanging out with us, Oilers and Northern Farm Girl fan. Appreciate you being here. And lots of fun here in the chat. Let's get back to the hockey. I'm going to add these names here to the list, and go Leafs go. Let's finish this one strong. Thank you for the support tonight. Let's have some fun in the third period.
Leafs 4 and the Tampa Bay Lightning no score. Armin Zagarian, who's supposed to be in charge of this operation, obviously taking the rest of the evening off. He's sitting in here with us watching TV. Oh, nice. All right. Well, that's nice. Anyway, the third period is brought to you by Enbridge Sustain. With a smart flow heating and cooling system that's always thinking about you. you can just think about the players' sweet flow, which I'm sure you're thinking about right now as the Leafs have a 4-0 lead. Defend the goal to our right. Comes back to the point in the offensive zone. Benoit with a shot. Juggled. Rebound comes in front of the goal. They bang away at it. And finally, Vasilevsky, who misplayed that badly, is able to cover up on it. And there's John Tavares. You know, he is Johnny Toronto, but he could be part of the garbage collection, folks, because he scores more garbage collection type goals than anybody on the Leaf team. Nose in the blue paint, hack, whack, and slash, and almost got one. Nylander off a face-off win with a shot that was blocked. Kept alive by Oliver Ekman-Larsson. It does not appear that Jake McCabe has returned after being struck sort of in the back of the neck helmet in the period. Here's Matthews in with a shot. That was blockered away there by Vasilevsky, and the Lightning will get it out at center ice. Nyes leaning on Cirelli, who gets it in over the line, but Morgan Riley sent it right back out. Lightning go back after it. A pass up on the left wing, engaged there by Lorenz. And the Lightning will have to try the other side now. And here's Chernik playing it out into the center ice area. Chipped along the boards. Benoit shot it right back in again. And the Lightning will regroup. And now an errant pass has gone the length of the ice. And an icing charge is coming here against Tampa Bay. The Leafs return home for a home game against the Chicago Blackhawks on Monday night. And that is a late start, 7:30 on a Monday.
Connor Bedard shows that sometimes you need a little bit of help, don't you?
Well, you do, yep. And a little experience, too, right? And now more offensive zone etiquette being talked about. The puck comes back to the point. Wrist shot taken there by Timmins was deflected wide. Lightning send it around the boards, and it's going to be banked out at center ice. Timmins knocked his man down to pretty much take away the breakout as Hagel got nailed, and then the Leafs send it right back in towards Vasilevsky, and he's going to cover up and hold, and then Chernik gives Fraser Minton a bit of a shot in the shoulder just for good luck.
With the 4 goals against Andrei Vasilevsky, 6 of the last 10 times the Leafs have faced the Tampa Bay goaltender, the Leafs have scored at least 4 on him. That's why Armin's here.
Oh, he gave you a little nugget? Nice to see that he's actually doing something. Marner with a pass in, a deflection by Holmberg went off the side of the goal. Tavares steps into his man Gunsel, the puck along the far side. Tavares punching it around back of the net. In goes Holmberg, but he can't come up with it. Neither could Marner, but they're doing a nice job of forechecking here as it comes to the point. Kept in at the blue line there by Tanev. Round the board to the left wing side. Riley getting it back to the blue line. Just kept in by Tavares. He launches it high back of the net. After it is Marner on the far side, and the Lightning are just going to get rid of it and get it out at center ice. Morgan Riley steps up at center and at the blue line, sends it right back down into Tampa Bay territory. The Leafs have been down in the Lightning zone for the better part of the first 2.5 minutes of this period. Timmins having to hustle back now into his own zone. Got it freed up for Ekman-Larsson, who couldn't get it up the boards. It comes to the side of the net. Wall was trying to put a glove on it, played it around back of the net. Timmins got hauled down there too, didn't?
Yeah, it looked like a skate blade right into the skates, or stick blade right into the skates.
Puck at the Tampa Bay blue line, up on the right side for Gonsalves, who sends it down into the corner, trying to dig it out into the goal crease area there. Diligently was Zemgus Girgensons. That was stopped, and then in comes the newest Maple Leaf tough guy. He is a character, though, I must admit.
Yeah, Benkin he likes to be the center of attention, doesn't he?
No, he doesn't shy away from it, no, and he's not afraid to stick his nose in here to sort of stir the pot, if you will. As he heads back to the Leaf bench, 17:07 to play in the third period. The Leafs have gotten goals from Nyes, Tanev, Robertson, and Tavares. Lightning keep the puck in with a shot that is blocked. Benoit punches it around the boards. It won't clear. Kept in at the blue line and fed back in by Chernik. Left wing side. Back of the net, trying to work out in front now is Cirelli. Cirelli into the corner, centering pass, and that was blocked. The rebound to the side of the goal, centered in front of the net. Oh, what a great play made there. I think that was Willie Nylander, if I'm not mistaken, comes back and lifts the stick of the Tampa Bay player, and the Leafs get it out from a dangerous scoring area. Played back into the Toronto zone. Riley takes his man into the corner. Lorentz doing likewise as the puck comes back along the boards to the point. Sent back around into the corner. Gobbled up there by Riley. He misfires on it, though. He'll get a second effort to push it up the boards. Now Lorentz trying to get the puck out, and he does. And now here's Steven Lorentz racing after it, but he's going to be beaten to the puck by Darren Raddysh. Lightning will play it through center and down into the Leaf end. Out of the net is Wall. Wall had his pass intercepted, but he stayed with it, played it the other side, and the Leafs get the puck out at center ice. Minton working in over the line. Fraser Minton stops up, tries to get a pass into the slot. That didn't work, and the Lightning get it out at center, and now a pass is blocked there by the Maple Leafs, and it'll come back into the Toronto zone. Left wing feed for Benoit. Benoit sends it back down into the Lightning area. Leafs getting two players back from the injured reserve list, but Pacioretty and Domi. Reeves still out with the suspension. A centering pass for Tavares. He got a shot away, but that was deflected before it reached the net. And now Jake McCabe.
And Bobby McMahon on that list as well.
Yeah, exactly. Sorry, I misfired on the most recent forward to go out. So the Leafs have been stick handling through a lot of forwards who have had their issues, but this is the first defenseman that's been down as the puck comes into the corner now, and working with it is Yzerman back to the point. Left wing side, sent down around back of the net. Yzerman couldn't come up with it. Leafs get it off a stick to center, and it will be Grabenkin going back after it, but had it knocked away. And now a turnover at the blue line. It's a delayed offside. That's allowing the Lightning to get to center ice, and it is shot into the Toronto zone. Punched off the boards to the left wing side. Grabenkin strides out at center. Tried to send it in. Took a bit of an elbow there from Chernik. The puck goes back behind the net. Grabenkin trying to get to it. Poked it back of the net. Played up on the left wing side, and out come the Lightning as they flip it to center, courtesy of Connor Geekie. Down into the Toronto zone it goes. Cirelli couldn't get it out in front of the net. Into the far corner for Geekie. Penalty call coming against Toronto. Shot blocked. Grabbed off again. Geekie getting it back to the point. Near side it comes for Chernik. Back to Geekie off the boards. Hedman couldn't get it back. Down into the corner. And is it touched finally by the Maple Leafs? And the second power play of the game is going to come here for the Tampa Bay Lightning, as the Leaf penalty kill is brought to you by your Ontario Honda dealers. Up your game, lease the CRV from 2.99% up to 28 months. Visit HondaOntario.com. The Leafs 4, Tampa Bay no score. You're listening to Molson Leaf Hockey on Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
Sports Grid Radio on Sirius XM has you covered this NFL season.
Jameis Winston and the Cleveland Browns head to Denver to finish Week 13 of the NFL season. Can the Browns play spoiler again and beat another playoff contender in the AFC, or cover the 7-point spread? We'll break it all down. Make sure you tune into Sports Grid Radio to stay up to date on all the latest.
The place to get the winning edge over the sports books this football season is Sports Grid Radio. Channel 159 in the car and on the Sirius XM app. The biggest.
What's up, Leafs fans? Thanks for hanging out with us tonight for the Leafs on Hockey Night in Canada. There's nothing better than Saturday night hockey with the Leafs, and tonight the Lightning in Tampa. The Leafs heading south for a little U.S. Thanksgiving week break. They took a break off last game. We're not doing that again tonight. Let's go, buds. Let's get the W against the Lightning. Please hit that like button down below as well. Please share this link out. Let's get more hockey fans here in the chat hanging out with us, having a good time cheering our Leafs on to victory here on Saturday Night Hockey Night in Canada. All right, let's get back to the chat. We'll see you guys back in there. Make sure you're staying tuned during the intermission. We have a special video to drop during the intermission in collaboration with Jelly Leafs HD. Can't wait for you guys to see it. See you guys back in there. Go Leafs, go.
Channel 157 and streaming on the SiriusXM app.
The biggest names in the game.
Trying to get behind Ristolainen, walks in, put it between his legs, shoots it, score!
NHL play-by-play on SiriusXM.
The Leafs 4 and the Tampa Bay Lightning no score, but the Leafs shorthanded here for the second time in the game.
By the way, Jake McCabe, his official Leafs, tweeted out that he will not return. He left with 5 minutes to go in the second period. So taking a shot, kind of the neck area, back of the head area, tied up with a man, and a point shot caught him high.
Leafs off a face-off win have sent it out and down the ice. Lightning drop it back. Hedman leaving it back there. Coming out now is Braden Point. Point hits the Leaf blue line, fed it off on the wing and got it in for Cirelli down around back of the net. Marner trying to free it up and does, and it is whipped out and down the ice. Lightning going back for it. Pass up on the right wing boards. Brought in over the line by Cirelli. Cirelli drops it back for Hedman. Return to Cirelli near half board. Centered in front. Oh, what a save made by Wall. First save made, and then the rebound was a juicy one, but he got over and got a piece of equipment in front of that. Centering pass back to Hedman. Wrist shot. Glove save Wall. And he is in another zone right now.
So when he first came back, those starts against St. Louis, Joe, you could see that he wasn't quite what he was near the end of last year. But here, I mean, the recovery, the push off his left skate to his right, and then to be able to kick out the right pad and keep it out. I mean, Leafs are, it's incredible. We can talk about all the changes and the differences and the way the teams played, and they're tougher to play against. But I tell you, Stolarz and Joseph Wall have been nothing short of outstanding for the Leafs early on this season.
Both of them with save percentages above .920. I mean, it's ridiculous. Puck back to the point. Kept in over the line by Tampa Bay. Atkinson got it into the corner. Now back to the blue line. Radish to the left wing side. And a pass in front of the goal is knocked away and quickly shot. But it ends up going into the Toronto bench, I believe.
Boy, was that Connor Timmins that might have taken that? Mitch Marner just
wheeled and
fired it. Marner shaking his head. And you want to be so careful not to throw it over the glass and give them the 5-on-3.
Marner was more upset at the fact that he was interfered with and knocked down prior to that turnover, and he's given it to the official now as the puck is scrummed in the face-off circle. 28 seconds left in the power play. Lightning get it back to the blue line. Hedman, wrist shot coming. It's off the mark wide. Comes to the right wing boards. Played back to the point by Hagel. Hedman with it once more. Onto the left wing side, trying to get a pass is Cirelli. Down low, he gets it returned again back to Hedman. Hedman shot this time through traffic, and there's Wall again, finding the puck in traffic and making the play and hanging on.
Remember we saw him, especially there were a couple of goals in the loss in St. Louis where he was deeper. And when you say deeper, we're talking about 6 inches to a foot. But it's a huge difference as far as getting out and cutting down the angle. And we see Joseph Wall getting back to that, whereas his heels are more on the top of the crease.
He's aggressive.
Yep.
11:49 to play in the third period. Penalty has 6 seconds left in it. Played around the boards into the near corner. Chipped back there by Hagel. Side of the net. Riley battles for it. Now it's into the corner. A couple of Leafs after the puck as the penalty has expired. Hedman keeping it in as he walks to the middle of the ice. Got a pass on the wing, and it was redirected wide of the Leaf goal. Lightning keeping the puck alive. Here's Victor Hedman losing it there, and it is pushed out at center ice by Connor Dewar, and Marner is able to play it the rest of the way into the zone. Matthews stands up his defenseman with a pretty good hit, then kicks the puck back into the slot. It comes over on the right wing side. Timmins! A drive and into the chest of Vasilevsky, and Matthews gets tangled up a little bit there with Yzerman and lifted him right off his skates onto his fanny.
Yzerman jumped back onto his feet and looked around and saw that it was the Leaf captain that made contact with him. 11:07 to go here, and the Leafs nursing a 4-0 lead thanks to 3 second period goals.
Leafs goals against average this year 2.59, which is third best in the National Hockey League. Offense is a lot of fun to watch. Defense wins championships.
Yeah, but
just saying.
But even the goals for have been way down. 2.95 goals per game coming into this.
Played off the boards into center ice and back into Tampa Bay territory. We are 40 seconds from the midpoint of the period, and it's 4-0 Toronto. Right wing side, Chernik. Chernik sends it towards the net, blockered away by Wall. Lorenz frees the puck up. The Leafs have it back in their own zone with Benoit going around back of the goal, then goes D to D with it. And Tanev with a left wing pass to Lorenz, who takes the hit but can't get the puck into the offensive zone cleanly. And Point tries to move back up ice, and then Lorenz took the puck away from him and sends it right back into Tampa Bay territory. Robertson into the forecheck, but the Lightning get it out at center ice. Oliver Ekman-Larsson circles back behind the goal, tries to shield itself there, played it off the boards. Robertson has to help out, chipped it high, and it's gone off the glass, says the linesman, so there will be no penalty. And the faceoff is coming again deep into Toronto territory. Well, if you're out shoveling and you're listening to us, we know where you are. Sault Ste. Marie, Sudbury, up in the north area of Barrie. So far, so good down here, but I would suggest we're probably in line. You're listening to Molson Leaf Hockey on Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
Oh, Maya. Maya. She loves being cool. 21 degrees is her favorite number.
What's up, insiders? It's that time of the night for you to let us know where you're watching from. Let's see how many people all over Canada, all over the United States, and all over the world are hanging out with us here on TSI. The dogs are barking. They're excited. They can't wait to see where you're watching from. I want to see lots of Canadian flags in the chat, USA flags, countries, provinces, states, cities, everything. Let's see how Canada does Hockey Night in Canada and the world does Hockey Night in Canada here on TSI. Now let's get back to the chat. Go Leafs, go! And let's have some fun in there. Keep it classy.
Only one way to find out. Download the app and see why. It's never ordinary at Bet365. Must be 19 or older. Ontario only. Please play responsibly. If you or someone you know has concerns about gambling, visit connectsontario.ca.
Fall for Subaru by enjoying fall to the fullest. Think scarlet, burgundy, amber, crimson and copper, but never, never blue. Because with Subaru's symmetrical full-time all-wheel drive, fall is for thick, dark mud splats, terracotta mountain roads, radiant sunsets, kaleidoscopic leaf carpets, and the boldest of adventures. Avoid autumn blues and visit your local Subaru dealership to book a test drive today.
You're listening to Toronto Maple Leafs hockey.
2 good saves, 3 good saves, another shot, 4 good saves made.
On Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Leafs Radio Network.
Never fails to amaze me where people end up listening to us, Mr. Ralph. But a gentleman named Ryan Bailey is 42,000 feet up in the air above the outback of Western Australia, listening to the game. And you and I.
Is it snowing?
No, he says it's pretty nice there, actually. A bouncing puck to the side of the lead goal goes back of the net. I bet it's cold up there, though. Here's Tavares. A pass over on the right side. Marner in with a shot. Big rebound. And you could see Marner was trying to do just that. Low shot off the stick. Got the carom out in front. But his centerman and Holmberg, the winger, couldn't get a stick on it. Puck comes back out at center ice. Point getting across the line. Dishes it off on the right wing side. Back to Braden Point. Backhand. By the time the pass got to Point and by the time the backhand came, Wall was cooking breakfast over there. I mean, he got over there and got big and square, and it was like he'd already, I'm over here. Well, would you hurry up and shoot it?
Yeah, and I remember his rookie year playing when he first got games a couple of years ago. He played a game late in the season in Tampa and was outstanding. And whether that's part of his DNA now, where he likes playing in that building, has good memories, he's certainly got confidence there.
Draw one by the Lightning. Shot deflects wide into the corner. 9 minutes to play in the third period. 4-0 Toronto. Puck pushed along the boards. Lightning curling out of the corner. Got a shot that was well off the mark wide. Backhand try by Radish. Goes around back of the net. Radish taken to the boards there by the Maple Leafs. Ekman-Larsson, and now he'll get it around back of the net. Trying to play it ahead, but they don't get it out. A right wing side shot, scores! Isamont after a turnover in the Leaf zone, and for the first time, really, the Leaf forward group left the zone without the puck too early. And the turnover, there was no one back there to take an eye on Isamont, and so the Lightning are on the board. It's 4-1.
Yeah, take a look again. It was Oliver Ekman-Larsson threw it up the right wing boards. And it was kept in, hit a man about waist high, bounced out to the high slot, and then give Isamont credit. He tees up a one-timer from the location where Nikita Kucherov has made a pretty good living. And he just one-timed it, blasted it back far side over the right shoulder of Joseph Wall.
You get another look at that. I'm not so sure that Wall didn't overplay it. He came across so quickly that it looked like he might have gone past the angle. And Isamont had a lot of net to end up shooting it in.
That's a tough part of a left-handed shot on the right wing side. I think you see the body, and as you turn, it doesn't go as...
A centering pass here is bouncing into the Toronto zone. Kept alive at the blue line. Kept in by Chernak along the boards. The Leafs don't get it out. Now the shot. That deflects wide. The Leafs have got to get some momentum going here and get some offensive time. Nylander poking at it but doesn't get it out. Back into the corner again. Turning with it is Hagel. Got it back to the blue line. Fed around back of the net. Into the corner for Geekie. Geekie tied up and knocked down by Nyes. Nyes trying to dig the puck free. Has it back of the Toronto goal. Timmins in traffic now. Nyes helps out. Pokes it up on the boards. Trying to get there in time, but it's pinched down by the defense. Radish keeping it alive. Good pressure here from Tampa. And the Leafs really need to get some zone time at the other end of the rink. They've been down battling in their own zone for quite a while. They finally get it out and down the ice, and it won't be enough for icing. Radish goes back. He has to wait for teammates to change. Might even be a time for a timeout here from the Maple Leafs as the shot is swallowed up by Wall and held for a face-off in the Toronto zone. 7 minutes and 3 seconds left to play in the third period. And it is a 4-1 hockey game. The Lightning have had 33 shots. The Maple Leafs have had 28.
Includes an advantage of 10-6 here in the third period. And that's always the concern, isn't it? You take a big lead into the third period. You know you've got enough.
You think you can just sit back? Another shot that was going wide is knocked down by Wall and then swallowed up by the Leaf netminder.
I know we were talking about it in the intermission that, you know, when you've got a 4-0 lead after the second period without Kucherov in the lineup, you feel a little more comfortable. But there's still enough talent in that Tampa lineup to be able to mount a miracle comeback here in the third period.
Another win and another shot and another save by Wall. And they'll face it off in the circle to the left again. Atkinson winning that cleanly.
Nick Paul's a pretty big part of the top six for the Tampa Bay Lightning as well. He's out of the lineup as well as he's listed as day-to-day.
Marner just did get the puck out at center ice. Brought back by Radish and sent into the Toronto zone. And a whistle is going to stop play here for some reason. And it'll be brought back out into the center ice area, I believe. Did one of the linesmen get clipped? Might be it.
Yeah, he's down on one knee. Hopefully, he's all right. I mean,
It's Killen McNamara who is shaken up here on the plate.
It is amazing, whether it's linesmen or like the play we saw with Jake McCabe that sent him to the dressing room. It is amazing it doesn't happen more often.
And they don't have an awful lot of equipment on.
And we're watching here. Oh, this is right in the back.
Yep.
And it was...
The scream probably stopped play more than anything.
Yeah, it was Radish that threw the puck up the boards, Darren Radish, and put it right into the middle of the back of the linesman. But he's back up.
Tough
Hopefully
Irishman and Killen McNamara. Got to let something like that get in the way. Put an ice pack on it after the game. Or maybe an internal ice pack. Shot down into the Toronto zone. Riley punches it around to the far side. The Leafs don't get it out. Marner now double teamed in the corner. Got it freed up, and now here's the Leafs getting it to the line and just out at center. And now Tavares will help it into the zone, but the Lightning get it right back out into neutral ice. Brought on to the blue line and in. Broken up there. Marner on a knee is able to play it to the line, but it doesn't clear. He gets another opportunity with it now. Playing it back to Morgan Riley. Riley with a pass up for Pontus Holmberg. Drop back for Tanev. Tanev over to Riley. Riley just wants to get it into neutral ice and does as the Leafs are changing. Pass deflects then off the stick of Austin Matthews and goes up into the screen and out of play. And a face-off is going to come in the neutral zone as a result. Matthews has played 16 minutes and 34 seconds thus far in the game, coming back from injury. It is a 4-1 lead the Leafs have. 5:58 to play in the third. You're listening to Molson Leaf Hockey on Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Maple Leaf Radio Network.
Through the years welcome your family and friends home with timeless Christmas music and carols on Hallmark Radio.
It's the most wonderful time.
A channel that fills the season of giving and gathering with sounds of warmth and good cheer.
You will get a sentimental feeling.
There we are. All right, insiders. Now I got some more names to add to the list here. Man, I love it. I can prep too. $5 super chat. I can prep too. It's been a long time. Great to see you, Prep. How have you been, my lady? Thank you for stopping by and helping us in this support. It's absolutely amazing. Andrew Hurd with the gifted membership. Thank you. And then I had to throw in an extra 10 there because it's been a great night here on Toronto Sports Insider, and Pierre with a $20 super chat. Nice, Mike and Allison. Thank you, Pierre. The support, you guys, absolutely insane. 1,733 watching. We're 16 likes away from hitting 1,000. Hit that up right now. And I got a box here, and I got a little problem. We got a couple thieves in the house. They go by the name of Thomas, Sarah, and Julie. These are 8 mini cones, 2 boxes. I had one, Mom had one, Bella got none. Where did the other 14 go? We're going to do a little math here on TSI with all these super chats and gifted memberships. Julie, Tom, and Sarah, what the heck? Y'all done. Anyways, go Leafs go. Let's finish this one strong. The support tonight, amazing. Thank you, guys. Go Leafs go.
7 left to play in the third period. Lightning send it down into the Toronto zone. Wall out of the cage. Gives it to his defenseman, Tanev. Got it ahead for Matthews. Matthews just launches it high into neutral ice. A puck comes back. The Leafs have it now, and Benoit plays it to the line but doesn't get it in deep. Then Nyes had his pocket picked a little bit. Brought back in by Hagel. Stolen back by Chris Tanev. Tanev punches it around the boards, but it goes off a stick and goes out of play. And another face-off coming in the Toronto zone. 5:31 left to play.
Well, the other goal that Nick Robertson had scored this season, that was in the blowout loss that they had in Columbus. It was a third period goal that was meaningless at the time, and right now with Isamon scoring in the third period for Tampa, Robertson's goal is the game winner, and You talked about the Leafs maybe taking a timeout to recharge. That's exactly what they've done here.
I can't coach this team and do the broadcast at the same time.
Yeah. No, I know that.
I know. Yeah. Actually, I think that was just a replay. It was a replay of during the commercial timeout. But now Vasilevsky has gone to the bench, so the Lightning are going to try and catch lightning in a jar here, down by 3 with 5.5 minutes to go. Hagel backhands it down into the corner, onto the far side. Grabbed off by Point, sent around back of the net. Atkinson got it back into the corner. Point is engaged over there. So is Tavares after his man as it comes into the slot area. Poked off his stick, but not cleared. Kept in by Tampa Bay. Onto the left wing side. Got around Timmins. Centering pass is blocked. Pushed out and down the ice. It's going. Wide. Icing.
Wide right.
Now, don't be saying that to our friends in Buffalo, right?
No, you did. I was just doing my job.
They're digging out tonight. It's a snow bowl in there tomorrow for their football game.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Here's Lightning with it down into the corner. Try to play it in front. No, it goes back to the point. Hedman looking for the pass and gets it. Gets it down into the corner now on the left wing side, or the right wing side. Hagel to the side of the net. Centering pass, scores! Gunsel centered it. Atkinson was off to the side, but I think it goes off a Leaf player and past Wall. And all of a sudden, with 4:41 to go, it's a 2-goal lead. Was it Morgan Riley?
And you think missing that empty net at the other end didn't have any consequences. And there's a chance as well. Yeah, Gensel throws it across. No, Connor Timmins has it go right off the left skate blade. He's basically standing in the crease to the right of Joseph Wall. Now, if it doesn't go off Timmins, it's a backdoor tap in.
Atkinson was over there. So 4:41 to play. Game is not over yet. Played to the Tampa blue line. Knocked by Nylander in over the line. Left wing side trying to drag it in. Lightning get it out at center. Bouncing puck. And a high stick making contact. Says the linesman.
Well, it didn't look like Matthews touched it, did it?
No, I thought he.
With 4:25 to go, be center ice face off. Leafs led 1-0 after one, 4-0 after the second, but the Lightning have scored twice here in the third period. Second one with Andrei Vasilevsky on the bench for the extra attacker. Leafs have given up a few goals under these circumstances. Remember Leon Draisaitl tied it when Edmonton was in Toronto a couple of weeks ago.
Shot into the Toronto zone again. Poked up on the boards. Leafs don't clear. Long shot. Gloved by Wall. Number 36 on the night. And there's a face-off coming in the Maple Leaf zone.
And now they've got Brandon Hagel as the only assist on the goal by Gensel. And I was wondering if Victor Hedman would pick up an assist. Right now he is tied with the franchise lead with Marty St. Louis in assists at 588. And we got Vasilevsky. No, he's gone back.
Gone to the bench. 6 attackers again. 4:12 to play. Leafs won the draw, but can't get to the loose puck. And when they do, it's pushed ahead. Marner now flipping it towards the empty net. Had it knocked down. And a high stick makes contact with it. Face-off is going to be in the center ice area. That'll force Vasilevsky, one would think, back into the goal once more.
Oh, did they give him the assist? They were showing it up in the monitor.
Yes, they have. Yes, they have.
Passed it. Yeah, yep. Now they've added it. Originally, they just had Hagel as the lone assist on it.
4 minutes and 1 second to play in the third period. And the draw won by the Lightning, Cirelli. And Hedman takes it back behind his own goal. He'll leave it there. And it's brought out now by Cirelli to the line. Got it into the Toronto zone. Good hip check taken there by Benoit to knock his man down. The puck comes back out at center ice. The goaltender has gone to the bench again, so there's an extra attacker on here for Tampa Bay. But they'll have to send him back onto the ice because they have iced the puck, and it'll come back for a face-off in the Tampa Bay end.
Sure, make it more interesting if they changed the rule where you couldn't replace the goaltender.
That would be an interesting move. I like that. Then you'd have guys who used to play with their jackets playing ball hockey, trying to play goal.
Well,
I'm betting Mitch Marner would be very good at that. I'm thinking he could do that.
I'm guessing Chris Tanev wouldn't need a goalie behind him either. And maybe Jake McCabe. But Austin Matthews out to take this draw.
And Matthews wins it. The Leafs would like to play a little keep away here and keep it down in the offensive end. Around the boards for Ekman-Larsson. He gets it back into the slot for Nylander. Nylander's wrist shot blocked and just poked out at center ice. And now into the Toronto zone. And Willie turning the puck over at the blue line is probably going to hear about it a little bit later. Extra attacker back on now for Tampa Bay. And the shot was deflected wide of the goal. Back to the blue line it comes. Over on the near side now for Hagel. Hagel gets it back to Hedman. Hedman to the left wing side. Point looking for a man. Still with it and sending it down into the corner. Things on the outside with 2:55 to play. Point back to Hedman. Hedman to Hagel on the left wing boards. Hagel back to Hedman once more. Here comes the shot in traffic. That stopped. The rebound went wide. Back it comes to Hagel. Hagel centering pass. It was deflected wide of the net. Leafs with a lot of traffic in front of the goal. It comes back to Hedman. To Hagel, a shot. Wall comes across nicely and makes the save. And then some extracurricular activity with a couple of good cross checks. And it'll be interesting to see who's going to get the penalty.
I think Cirelli might be picking up the penalty. The referee gave the big point towards the penalty box. That was Connor Timmins that got drilled after the whistle.
No, actually, it was Ekman-Larsson, I think. Yeah, you're right.
95, not 25. Although Ekman-Larsson might have thrown the first cross check. 13-6, the shots favoring Tampa here in the third period. 37-28 overall.
Well, we're not seeing the penalty box. No, they're saying that Tampa is getting the power play. Ekman-Larsson gets...
I mean, you could have evened that up.
Yes, you could
easily.
Yes, you could have.
I've got nothing. No gripe with Ekman-Larsson picking up the penalty, but then he took one right from Cirelli that was at least of equal value.
But at this point, the Lightning... Now, wait a minute. Is Cirelli getting a penalty?
Well, it looks like... Now, Cirelli's got a cut on his nose, but he wasn't involved. He's wearing a full face visor. Greg Berube is not a believer. I mean, like I said, okay, you want to give one. Actually, I mean, this is right in front of the official who decides he wants.
Both should have been sent off. Played off the wing, and the Lightning keep the puck in. Hedman on the far side. Back to the point near side. A shot. That scores. Hagel let it go. It's deflected in front by Atkinson. And it's a one-goal game with 2:22 to go in the third period.
Is this off another skate as well? Atkinson is getting credit for it. He's the first one to the bench for the high fives. It looked like it might have rattled around before it found the back of the net as well. But the Leafs, who had a very comfortable lead going into the third period, are now just hanging on. Oh, this goes off the skate of Atkinson.
Now there is a bit of a motion with the left foot.
I don't know. I think it's more of a turn than a kick.
I don't know, Mr. Ralph, but it would be a difficult thing to ask now because another penalty here with 2:22 to go would be pretty disastrous.
Boy, another Tampa goal would be pretty disastrous.
So a 4-0 lead has wilted to 4-3. Atkinson scoring the power play goal.
That was a tough call against Oliver Ekman-Larsson as well. You had back-to-back cross-checks in front, and the officials decided they're only going to take one.
They're checking to make sure the time is correct on the clock. Added 2 more seconds. And now we're ready to go. Yeah, that was referee Justin Kia who made that call. Leafs play it off the boards, get it down into the Lightning zone, and you can bet that Vasilevsky is going to be on his way out. So 6 attacker goals here for the Lightning, 1 on the power plays. The puck comes in front of the net, and the Leafs are able to skate it out. Riley getting it ahead. Vasilevsky is still in the net as it's played down around back of the goal with now 1:54 to play in the third period. Leafs trying to hang on to a victory here. They've not very little to do offensively in this third period. Pass up the middle for Hagel. He gets across the line to the left wing side, and a shot is knocked away there by Wall. The puck goes around back of the net. Leafs unable to free it up. There's a scrum as it comes back on the boards, kept alive by Braden Point. Point gets it into the corner. Net is empty again for Lightning. A centering pass didn't work. And Tanev can't get the puck out. Leafs finally do get a circle now by Nylander. Nylander to the empty net. Scores! Willie Nylander sends a punt over everyone's head and into the back of the net. And the Maple Leafs will get some relief here with 1:16 to go.
But this is from the Leafs side of center. So if it does not find the net, there's another face-off in the Toronto zone with a little over a minute to go.
Well, he had a pretty good look. He had a good look.
But we've seen from long range, you miss that and it's an icing. That is going to be the conversation. So the Leafs, who came into this game with a 2-point lead over the Tampa Bay Lightning, still too soon to start talking about a 4-point lead.
Hang on. Sent down into the Toronto zone. Tanev pumps it around the boards, doesn't clear, bounces off of Wall into the far corner. Net empty again. Vasilevsky's gone to the bench. Here the Lightning back to the point. Hedman sends it back to his defenseman on far side, looking to get it back to Gunsel. Tied up along the boards there. Good play by the Leafs to keep it wide, but now it comes to the side of the goal. And the shot deflects high and has gone into the screen. And time has ticked down to 44.6 seconds in the third period. Connor Dewar out there along with Tavares and Marner. And trying to bring it out from the corner was Cam Atkinson. And he launched it high and it ended up going up into the screen. 44.6 seconds to go. Well, this has been an interesting third period. Leafs chip it ahead. Marner banks it and banked it into the Leaf bench. He shakes his head a little bit that he missed the boards by that much, but face-off back in the Toronto end. Matthews and Nyes have drawn the assists on Willie's empty netter.
So 2-point return for Austin Matthews.
And he'll take the face-off here.
The second 5-on-6 goal that Tampa's given up. They had 6 goals scored, 1 against, 6-on-5.
Leafs get it high and out into neutral ice. Going to be shot by Hedman right back in again. Slowed up by Wall. 20 seconds to go in the third period. They battle for it in the near corner and trying to pin it against the wall there was Tanev. It comes right in front. Oh, and a big save off a Braden Point made by Wall. Centering pass again. Knocked into the corner by the Leafs. Benoit. Another shot goes wide. 2 seconds left. This one is going into the books for a victory for Joseph Wall and the Toronto Maple Leafs.
By the way, it was the opposite. It was only the second goal with the goalie on the bench, playing 6-on-5 for the Tampa Bay Lightning. So Tampa, give them credit. They're shorthanded in this game as well, without Kucherov, without Nick Paul. And despite being down 4-0 at the end of the second period, they made a game of it with 3 goals in the third.
Well, we invite you to join us on Monday when the Leafs will entertain the Chicago Blackhawks. Remember, it is a 7:30 start, but before we do that, we'll go to our 3 stars, brought to you by Desjardins Insurance. Get insurance that's really big on care. Who have you got, Mr. Ralph?
Well, I think I had him a little higher earlier, 3 goals against in the third period, but Joseph Wall made some huge stops. The breakaway save off Eisenman in the first period might have been a tone setter for them. He's star number 3. Then I'm going to go with a couple of lesser lights. Like I said, the second period seems like a long ways away. Chris Tanev, we talk about his shot blocking, but gets his first goal of the season, first as a Leaf, is going to be star number 2.
Got an assist as well.
Yeah, and Nicky Robertson. Turns out he had the game winner on his stick when it was 4-1. But it was a huge goal for Robertson, not only to break a 12-game goalless streak, but to take advantage of an opportunity on a pretty good goaltender in Vasilevsky. And we're going to give Nicky Robertson star number 1, even if it's based on one important moment for him in the second period.
All right, there you have it. And again, an invitation to join us Monday when the Blackhawks are in town, 7:30 start. I'm going to go home and celebrate a great weekend. The Packers win, the Irish win, the Leafs win. Everything is coming up Millhouse.
And we're not even, we're only halfway through the weekend.
I know, yeah. Well,
how can it get better?
I may not remember much of tomorrow. At any rate, final score is the Leafs winning it by a score of 5-3. We will ship it off to Ailish and Justin for our post-game show. You've been listening to Molson Leaf Hockey on Sportsnet 590, The Fan, and the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
You've been listening to Molson Leafs Hockey on Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Leafs Radio Network. There's a Molson with your name on it.
The fantasy football playoffs are coming. And if you want to win, you need to listen to Fantasy Sports Radio.
You should be watching who the other teams are cutting this week. There's going to be some good players.
We're here to help you overcome bye weeks, poor performance, and injuries.
You've got to have the depth. You cannot.
All right, there we go. Go Leafs, go. What a win. Got a little nervous there at the end. Oh, man, that was a little nerve-wracking, but hey, we got it. We got it done. I got to turn this TV down a little bit here with this audio in the background, but to know when to cut back to the post-game show, which I will let run, as always, throughout post-game, because that's what we do here. We hang out together as Toronto sports fans. We can chat about the post-game. We can chat about the pre-game, all of it. What a game. What a win. Maggie Gaming in the chat. How you doing, Maggie? Cheers, my man. So good to see you. Go subscribe to Maggie Gaming as well. And Jelly's highlights coming soon, guys. I'm going to pin that message right now. And Brad Smith, I'm going to end the poll real quick there. Take a screenshot, man, because I can't do it right now while I'm here. But ending the poll, great suggestion. Thank you for the email to TorontoSportsInsider@gmail.com to get that in there for the poll. Anybody has any ideas, send them over. Brad Smith, Mike Allison, thank you guys. So much love. I love this community, guys. You all rock. Thank you. Sick Whips. And wow, Christine, Veronica, Wheelie, amazing. Brandy Gale, good night. Pike's Wrath, good night. Andrew Hurd, good night. What a night here of the support. Andrew Hurd, $20 super chat. I can prep too. So good to see you. I haven't seen you in so long. PWHL back in action today. I wanted to do the game, but I didn't know how I could get the stream. We'll see about putting those games on soon. What do you guys think? Let me know in the chat if you want to see the PWHL Toronto games, the Toronto Scepters in our live where we can hang out and talk about them during the game. Sean Price, mate, my friend, thank you. And Pierre LaBelle. Unbelievable support tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much. Now let's get back to the hockey, the post game. I'm going to let this awesome video that Jelly put together. You see the link that's pinned in the chat. Go subscribe to Jelly Leafs HD. Bonesy highlights, all right? Joe Bowen audio with the highlights immediately after the game. I got to check again to see. I'll refresh it once we play the video that he did with us for this amazing community. Let's hit it.
They're going to the second round. Do you believe
finding us. Thank you for sharing out the link and bringing more hockey fans to our awesome community here on TSI. And let's get back to the hockey. Go Leafs, go! Let's tear them up.
Game on his stick.
Changing the world, one insider at a time. We'll see you in the chat. And holy Mackinac, go Leafs, go.
Crazy. Thank you, Jelly, for putting that together. Really appreciate it, man. And everybody go check it out. SickKids, what a community. I'm so proud to be able to have this platform and this amazing group of people here to hang out with me every single night, whether it's the Leafs, the Raptors, the Blue Jays. We're going to start doing TFC, the Argos every single week. Guys, $6,500 raised together as a community in just 7 months. We're going to do something big in the Leafs playoffs again. 100% of the revenue from every single Toronto Maple Leafs playoff game this season will go directly to SickKids Hospital in Toronto. It's going to be so much fun. Thank you so much, guys. I'm going to pin the link to Jelly's highlights as soon as they come up. Good night, post-game runs. Cheers, everybody, with my water again, unfortunately. We'll see you guys soon. Good night. Tomorrow, tomorrow, Bills. Woo, tomorrow night, Raptors, Bills. Oh, yeah. Check out the soccer channel, too. I got to go harass True Killer and see how he's doing in foot champs with my EAFC team. He's, I think, like 6-0 so far in champs. So I got to go give him hell over there in England. And we'll be live at 7:15 Central, 8:15 Eastern on Sons of a Pitch Soccer Central for Manchester United against Everton. Go check it out. I'll pin the link somewhere. I don't know. We'll see you guys back in the chat. Go Leafs, go. What a win. Hockey night in Canada. What a night.
And Vegas.
All right, our next Molson Leafs hockey broadcast on Sportsnet 590 The Fan is Wednesday night against the Nashville Predators. Looking forward to it. We'll send it over to Leafs Talk with the boys, JD Bunkus and Sam McKee. You've been listening to Molson Leafs hockey on Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Maple Leafs Radio Network.
Leafs Talk, JD Bunkus, Sam McKee. I'm gonna work on our boy shows countdowns. He gives us like a 20-second countdown before we start these shows. He gets us prepared. He's our guy though. Leafs win 4-3 against the Tampa Bay Lightning. They avoid what was a near disaster. Felt like for a second there it was storms a brewing, buddy.
When did they scored their first goal with under 10 minutes left, right? It was Asemont.
That was about I want to say the 8-minute mark.
Yeah,
and they pulled the goaltender at around the 5 minutes left in the period around there.
Yeah. So then I'm just looking at the scoring plays here. Yeah, it was absolutely nothing happening at all for the Lightning. Up until that point, like Wall made a couple good saves in the third period, but there wasn't a whole lot happening. And all of a sudden he shoots one under the bar and they wake up. And I was really impressed with the Leafs at the start of that period. Mm-hmm. It really, really felt like they were doing the thing they've done under Berube. When they have a lead in the third, they don't sit back, where they're still on the offensive and they're still carrying the play and they're still playing in the offensive zone. And it really felt like they were doing that for the first half of the period. And then that puck goes in and they completely changed the way they played. I don't know. It just felt like they all felt it. I don't know. It was just very, very clear to me very quickly that goal changed the game.
Like it felt like both teams. Both teams went in completely different directions as soon as that puck ended up going in the net. I got to say, like, it's a really bad turnover on the first one. Like, horrific announcer's curse. Like, it's just Simpson. They're chopping it up, being like, "And Wolves played amazing. He's so good." And then bang, one's in the back of the net. Not his fault. It's a bad clear by Oliver Ekman-Larsson, who I think had a really rough night in general.
Two really bad turnovers. That horrific one on this play here, and the one where he did the blind pass, no look into the slot that ended up in a breakaway for the Lightning.
Yeah,
right at the end of a period which is something you absolutely hate. And then, Wall has to bail him out with the glove save on the breakaway. And I think was that Easymont too that had the breakaway? I'm trying to think.
Yeah,
I think it might have been.
It was him.
So,
yeah, really nice move on that breakaway.
Yeah. So continue what you're saying, but yeah, not a great night for Oliver Ekman-Larsson.
Yeah, it was just like it was that was basically the point, was like not used to seeing him have games like this. I think that there has been some regression. Like there's still a lot of the things that you like about OEL. We both are big fans of his aggression. We've been fans of the puck movement, but lately I would say that it's been a little underwhelming for that pairing, right? And I did think that tonight when Jake McCabe left this game, where he takes a puck to his ear and you go, oh no, this is horrible. Like you really hope that you're not losing him for an extended period of time. The blue line has been a great story this season. There's definitely no doubt about that. It's clearly more improved than it has been for basically any of the iterations of the Austin Matthews era. But yeah, just I do think that as much praise as we've given Ekman-Larsson as throughout the season, tonight was a tough one for him. And his goaltender was spectacular. And to me, like, if you want to kind of get into it, I thought that the story of the game was actually the discrepancy between the two goaltenders, right? Like Vasilevsky let in a bunch of goals tonight that I think that he could have saved with better positioning and better tracking. And Joel Wool was spectacular and now has been spectacular for like a pretty long stretch here. He looks like a guy who is really starting to figure out the league. Looks like a guy who didn't have a training camp and might be an actual elite goaltender. The movements, the athleticism, the calmness. It's just like there's a quiet swagger to his game right now. And yeah, just the Leafs they've just got an incredible abundance of riches in net right now with the way that these two guys are playing. But now specifically this dude who has been, there's no other word for it. Phenomenal.
It's funny you mentioned Vasilevsky there. The Leafs own two of the premier goalies in the league. You think of Vasilevsky, it feels like they score 4 or 5 on him every single time they play against him. It's just, even going back to the playoff series where they beat them, he was the biggest reason why. Like he truly was one of he was no good. They let in 1 million goals from the point. He was no good. And you look at him that the Leafs own, and they also Connor Hellebuck every time the Leafs play against Connor Hellebuck.
Yeah.
He lets in 5 goals. And I'm like, oh, this guy's good. This guy's supposed to be playing for America. Like, it's really funny that these two guys who are two of the more vaunted guys in the league, the Leafs seem to have no problem with, but like you put in some guy on the second half of back-to-back that nobody's heard of, that's when he's going to make 50 saves. Joseph Wall, really, really good. Vasilevsky, not great. Wall's inched ahead here. He's inched ahead. Like they're going to be playing a ton in this month coming up here. Mm-hmm. So it's not like there's going to be one guy's going to be getting a bulk of the starts. I forget what I saw the number is, but it's an insane amount of hockey in the next 2 months.
Yeah, it's a lot. And you and I talked about this on the last episode. Right? It's like there's not going to be they're going to vacillate between a 1A and a 1B
for sure.
Play a ton.
But I'm not I know they're both going to play a ton. But we're doing a sports talk radio show here. He's nudged ahead in terms of who's playing better and who's looked better. Like it's been a 5-game sample here now for Wall where he's been outstanding. He's been fantastic, full stop. Like I've just, he's looked like an elite goalie, like you mentioned. So another great one from him tonight. And they needed all of them. And even when they get the empty net goal, puck comes out in the middle of the ice to Braden Point, I think, right at the end of the game, 11 seconds left. And he just stares him down, aggressive, gets out with the blocker, makes an awesome save. Tons of activity around his neck, guys in his crease all night. Mm-hmm. He was getting pissed off, showing a little bit of emotion. I really like to see that from him. It was a great night for Wall. And it's ridiculous where the Leafs goaltending's at right now.
Yeah, I like the way he's moving. I like the way he's moving right now. It just looks really good. And some of the rebounding control has been great. But the big one for me tonight was that breakaway that we mentioned first. Like if we want to roll that one, this is picture perfect. Like this is the epitome of a goaltender not making the first move, staring a guy down who is in the middle of them.
Oh my God, that pass.
Yeah, it was
if
really
you're watching on YouTube, that Oliver Ekman-Larsson turnover is all-world turnover.
It's horrific. But for him to stay with it this way, never bite on anything, and then wait it out, snap that pad across, athletic as hell, man, to get that across, and then keep the pad like right on top of the glove, no gap between, like right there, you see it, no gap. That's beautiful, beautiful, beautiful save by Joel. He is absolutely in the zone right now. And I was thinking two things. One was that it's crazy that right now, and you still do feel it, like there is the discrepancy between these two goalies. Like if you got into a series with Tampa, you would feel totally like, yeah, I don't feel as though there's some massive net advantage for them, which you would have thought was going to be huge. But two is, you and I have talked a lot about, and I've talked about it ad nauseum on my podcast too, how it's like, man, why'd they do the Joel Wohl contract now? Like, why'd they do it in the offseason? Why didn't they just wait? He's injury prone and he starts the season hurt and everyone's hand wringing, or a lot of people are hand wringing. I was hand wringing. And you watch this guy perform this way, you go, God, if he does stay healthy, he's going to be worth a lot more than what that contract was.
Yeah.
And maybe
listen, I'm not ready. I'm not ready to go there yet. Like,
I'm just saying. I thought about it.
He's had a good 5-game stretch for
cross
sure.
Cross my mind is all I'm saying, is that
That's
he puts it together, and I think he is that guy.
You do. You're fired up about him. I know he's looked great, but I'm not ready to be like, I'm not ready to be like, oh, thank God they paid him. Like, he could disappear. He could disappear for 5 months with a flutter puck off the half boards like last year, and then disappear for Game 7. Like that is still there. So like he's been excellent, but I'm not like totally backtracking on everything I said about the contract.
I'm not saying backtracking. This isn't a backtrack. I think all those points were valid at the time, and there's a reason that we had those conversations. I don't think like it's a big bozo take like, some others that we've had. Certainly, I think that I'm just mentioning that tonight. I felt good about what that is, and it was a reminder of what they could end up saving on that deal versus what they may have. And like, I think that them doing it now, they probably, if he's healthier, save a lot more in terms of a contract negotiation than the other way around, like what they would have been able to get him on if he does have a season that's full of injuries and he doesn't play enough games. That's kind of where my head's at. But I will say this is like, you mentioned how much traffic was in the crease tonight, and I felt the same way, dude. I was like, oh boy, this is like, they're in there. Tampa's not afraid to go in the middle of the ice and in the net and in the crease. I still do feel like, don't bump him, don't hit him, don't hurt him. He's in a groove. It's like, so
every
that's not
shot
going to go away
towards
for a
him
while.
is still like the old, tightens up a little bit every time a puck goes towards the crease, any stretch. 100%. It's like, it's there. It's there. It's there. He's been excellent, and he was awesome tonight. And I just really hope he keeps the momentum going. You give Stolar's Chicago on Monday, I guess, right? If you're going to go back and forth, and then it's Wall on Wednesday, and then you split the back-to-back whatever way you want to go, and then away we go here. But it's nice. It's
games in 31 days in December. So,
but stretching out over that. Like I think it's even into January, it's an insane amount of games. Like if somebody tweeted me the number, I'd have to go scrolling through my phone. I don't want to do that right now, but there's 1 million games the next 2 months. So you're going to need both of these guys, and both of them haven't played a ton of games in their career. Mm-hmm. So you're going to need them both to really start pushing past their sort of comfort zone when it comes to amount of games played here. And it's going to be great. Yeah. 27 of 54 from Garrick Sissons on our YouTube chat. So thanks for that. 27 games in 54 days.
All right.
That's the number I saw.
I know, but I just like, did we fact check it, Luke? Like,
I had seen that number. I saw that number. Like someone tweeted that number.
Okay.
And it was in my mind. So that's correct.
That's
going
a lot.
Garrick.
Hey, Garrick, that's a lot of Leafs talks that you're going to be getting. Although we'll take our little break in December. But that's beaucoup de Leafs talk. Anyway, what'd you think of 34 tonight?
Tepid. Not quite himself. I think very shying away from contact, fell a lot of times. He had 2 chances, really. The one where he kind of pulled it to the middle and McDonough makes it, sort of stops him, and he shoots it into the crest. Another one where he kind of had an open look and looked like it was a bit of a flutter puck, didn't have much on it. Thought he didn't look like himself totally. But what I saw it do was really, really open up William Nylander. And having William Nylander be able to play on a line with 2 NHLers, I thought that you could just feel how much having, it just like Nylander was incredible tonight, I thought. And having Matthews out there clearly woke him up. And it was great. Like his last game, I talked about Willie when he's playing against the Florida Panthers with those 2 guys he's playing with, whoever they're throwing him over. He's like, what am I supposed to do? And tonight he felt really good. So just to go back to your Matthews thing, I think it's going to take some time here for him to get back up to where he's at. But I didn't see a lot of direct hard play from him tonight. I thought he looked a little tepid.
Yeah, I thought that he looked rusty originally. Like he had a bad turnover to start the game, but that his line played well and that his line mates really picked him up.
Yeah,
like
for sure.
And I didn't think that he had a bad night. I thought, again, he looked a little rusty. I like your analysis of it. I think I actually agree with it. I hadn't really thought too much of it, like not too many driving plays. But I do think that it was like, yeah, mostly the other line mates that he had were playing great. And I actually think that overall on a whole, tonight was a great game for Nylander, a really great game for Nyes, and a really great game for, again, Marner and Tavares, who had Holmberg on their line, who was like not even able to pay attention to what's going on. Like, can't even conceive offensively of the things
Pucks are just bouncing off the side of his head. He's like, what was that? Where was that? Where'd that come from? What is that thing?
Like, it's literally like that's what you see. That is the number one thing you see in sports, where it's guys who are really good and guys who are bad, where the one guy is thinking of something creative and hits somebody when they're open. And this is across like all sports, right? And the other guy is not aware. And then you're being asked the bare minimum, which is like, hey man, always pay attention to what's going on when this person has it, because they're really good. Just because you're not making those plays, you should probably be paying attention. But I was thinking about that too. Like tonight, like how many forwards are going to be on the playoff roster from this iteration? Because Dewar and Lorentz, I think, are the only two guys in the bottom six that are, and I don't even think Dewar is like necessarily a lockety lock. I think that he'd probably be there, but you know, could I see a scenario where Dewar is out? Yeah. Like you're talking five guys in the top six. Tonight. What?
Dewar played 10:52 tonight.
So I mean, so it's like what? At most, you've got 7 guys that are playing for you tonight that are going to be on your playoff rostered forward wise, if things are going well and barring no injuries.
Yeah. So Nyes, Nylander, Tavares, Matthews, Marner, Lorentz.
Yeah. Dewar,
and that's it.
That's it.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah. Wild, right?
They're going to make some trades. You know, they're going to get guys back. They got a bunch of people out. Clearly, like their whole bottom 6 is out with injury. And they're going to get Pacioretty back. They're going to get Kampf back. They're going to get McMahon back. They're going to get all these guys back.
Maybe
Max Domi. I'm not holding my breath on Yarncroc. He's going to be Nikita Yarncroc if he comes back. He'll be playing game 1 if anything. But they got some work to do in the bottom 6. They still got some injuries clearly, but it's a nice problem to have when you have that top 6 and you can just roll those guys out there for 20 minutes and dominate. I thought they were great 5-on-5.
Yeah, but what do you think that Berube sees in, like, because we always used to have the thing where like Sheldon Keefe really loved Alex Kerfoot, and we would make fun of him how he's like obsessed with Kerfoot's game, and
on
that
Holmberg?
he just,
is that what you're asking here?
Yeah, Holmberg just seems to be. I get it. It's not like they're chock full of options, but if you told me tonight, hey, like, especially, I thought Simpson made a good point after the Robertson goal. Like, hey, man, Robertson just scored a goal. He's got tons of jump. Then he came down. He had that clapper over the way. He's like, I'm back. You know, like, and then
he made a great move at the blue line against the grain on his backhand. That cut, beat the guy wide and hammers a clapper. I'm like, he's buzzing. Blowout Nick, he's back. I'm buzzing.
He was back for literally that shift and then was never heard from again the rest of the game. But even still, I would have fired him up there in that moment. Like, what has Pontus Holmberg done to make sure he's like a lock on the wing? I would want to see what Gurbankin looks like there. I don't know. I don't really understand why, literally, as Justin Bourne calls him, maybe the least talented offensive player in the league, who was thirsty for an empty netter too. He wanted one tonight. He tried to basically draw one to the button from his own end. It's just like a lock up in the top 6. Like, what do you think it is? Why is he there?
I guess I kind of see it, but I don't know how to explain it. Like, he's big and round and he skates hard and he kind of opens up lanes a little bit and he's responsible defensively. He's just like, I understand that he is a capable winger that can kind of play with those guys where he's opening up space for them. He can win a board battle, can cycle the puck a little bit. But yeah, like, you know, he's going to get the puck and beat it to a square. He's chopping it around. Like, he's a world-class chopper, bud. Like, he does not like that.
He might be the chopper.
And God, like, Marner just can't help himself. He's a passer. He's clear dish guy. Always will be. He's been shooting more this year, been scoring a little bit more than usual this year. But like, the one that he passed to him, like, stop passing it to him.
Yeah.
Like, stop it. Like, he's not going to, nothing's going to happen.
Like, when's the last time Marner played with somebody with that little offensive skill? Like Pee-wee? Like, it's like, Bantam? I don't know.
There's some guys on the Toronto Marlboros or whatever, the Dons, that's what I mean. That had more touch than him.
That's it. That's what I'm saying. So it's just weird. Anyway, I get it. Again, there's not exactly a ton of options that they have there, but I just thought it was a good spot Simpson brought up for Robertson. And that if you really wanted to show me somebody, like give me someone with a different look, I get Grabenkin just came up, and sometimes we get too excited about dudes who were in the AHL.
He's barely playing. He's playing.
Yeah,
I think he played 6 or 7 minutes tonight. Like the coaching staff clearly doesn't trust him a ton.
Yeah,
wasn't out there much.
That's what I'm saying, though. I want to see him up there. I would have honestly rather have seen Lorentz. Like, give me Steven Lorentz.
That's the one to me that I agree with. Where he's size, like he does what Holmberg can do, but I actually feel like he has a bit more of offensive touch. Not much more, but like a bit more of offensive touch. He's got, I think, was he have 3 on the year this year?
Yeah, but he had that nice little creative moment in this game too, right? Where it's like he took his time and actually tried to beat Vasilevsky short side. It was a tough one. He wasn't going to get beat on it, even though Vasilevsky does get beat short side by Robertson eventually. But I just thought, like, all right, we get it. Like everybody kind of knows what Pontus Holmberg is, and I don't know if I would enjoy this much.
I like the second anyone capable is back, he's out of there.
Gone. Yeah,
but I get it. Like I do get it. He's a 4th line player. He's a guy that's like on the 4th line, and you mix in like in a 7-game series, maybe he plays 1 or 2 games. That's what he is to me.
Yeah, and not only that, we just went over this where it's like they've only got at most 7 guys who are definitely on the playoff roster, and he's like maybe one of them. So I don't know, like he's like the 8th guy in the bubble when it comes to that. So it's not like it's not crazy, but yeah, it was a lot. Anyway, Robertson scores. Thank
good for him.
God for him. Like I don't think there's
you can hear his yelp on the broadcast.
Yeah, I don't know if I've ever heard a guy like scream like that. You know what it reminded me of? God, who was the
Russian kid?
Yes,
Soshnikov.
That's it.
Woo! One of the nastiest first career goals in NHL.
Oh, it was amazing. Yeah, it was. What a moment that was. Soshnikov. I bought stock in that moment. I was like, this guy should have beat somebody. That was very Soshnikov-ish in terms of the scream and the celebration. I'm pumped for the guy. It was great that it ends up happening. It changes absolutely nothing for me on a whole.
No, it was a world-class shot.
Really was. I still think Vasilevsky should have had it though.
Yeah, he got caught cheating hard, and a world-class, shooter put it right over the bar. That's what happens. So yeah, but like I agree. Wow, you scored. Congratulations. That end of conversation.
It was kind of funny though that it was like every person on earth, I thought, like basically was in the, like, you and I had been doing it for weeks of like the Robertson thing, and it felt like the last game everyone kind of came around, like the last defenders.
Yeah,
I'm trying to remember, like
I saw Nick Richard,
our boy Nick Richard. Yeah, Nick Richard. He takes the knee. He was the last man. He was Jon Snow with the sword, holding out the armies, hoping that it wasn't going to be just that you and I leading the charge on the horses towards me, like Nick Robertson can't play. And the second the entire Leafs Twitter writes Nick Robertson off and everyone bends the knee on his career, he comes out and he scores a goal. It was great. Yeah. It basically was a version of scratch and score, right? Yep. Like he scratched his career and he scored.
No, it was good. It's good for him. Good.
Yeah. Yeah, good for him. He's happy.
End of story. That's all I got. That's all I got. Sorry.
You got anything else on the Leafs? Because I got Tampa Bay.
Yeah, I'm just, we talked about it early in the season, and it was a conversation a lot on the show, but much like his game, it's pretty quiet these days, but got to give Chris Tanev some love. This guy.
Yeah. Glad you brought it up.
He does everything for this team in terms of defense. Like his shot suppression stuff, his everything, like all his advanced stats, he is amongst the best shutdown guys in the National Hockey League. And I could have gone the whole season without him getting a point and been like, he is worth every penny. And great slapper on the shot from Nyes to tip it in. And then having him walk down off the sideboards and just snipe one low blocker off the post and in for this first as a Leaf. Impressive night for Tanev. Another couple block shots. Great on the defensively. Like, I love this guy so much before he was here. And like, he's like the true Leaf that I love the most. Like, I love him. I love him. I do. Like, it's a great shot. He's just been so good. So want to give him some flowers.
It's a great shot. It clearly caught Vasilevsky off guard.
Thought he was passing 100%.
For sure. And you can tell the second it goes in, Vasilevsky's just like, I can't believe I let that in.
Yeah, he did. Exactly.
He's sour about that one. He's like, oh, damn it. I hesitated for a second. Like his body language there
But every goalie guy will tell you that's the hardest shot in hockey.
Yeah, no, it's
right, low blocker, right above the pad, perfect.
I'm not saying it's not a good shot. I'm just saying that it's very clear that he could have come out on it a little bit more, and that he was just like not really like hyper focused on it. Yeah, Tanev jumping up in it. I'm going to extend the Tanev take even further. I actually had Mike Kelly on my show on Friday, and I was talking about Team Canada bubble guys, and Canada's deep, man. Like, there is like, I think Tavares has been a little disrespected in it, just in terms of like, you look at his numbers this season. He's been a point a game player. He's killing it in puck battles. He's amazing in the circle. Like, I don't need Tavares there. I think that there's other guys, like 2 specifically on this team, that I would take over him. But the idea that like, he's like Anthony Cirelli is a monumental lock over John Tavares to me is like, all right, like, okay. But the other one is, I don't know why Tanev's not more in the mix. Like,
totally agree.
Why is Tanev's name not anywhere on any list ever? You're telling me if you're watching Team Canada, you want Evan Bouchard out on the ice more than Chris Tanev?
Well, that was your boy. That's the guy you wanted there.
I still bring him as the 7th guy though, but I'm like, yeah, I thought he was going to get the PK role. Like, I'm just saying he's like, if you're talking about all the Team Canada defensemen that you trust, I'm not saying he's the top pairing. I'm not saying that he's even the second pairing, but like, I don't know, man. Like, of all the names and some of the guys that are having seasons, I'm not blown away if he ends up making the team. I'm just putting it out there.
Take. No, it's a great take. And like, you look at the way Team Canada's decor is shaping up, and I got to tell you, bud, it's not exactly 2014 and 2010.
No, we were spoiled with 2014. The thing is that
the golden age. We had the golden age.
You look at those guys, and it's outrageously good. You're talking like prime Duncan Keith, prime Drew Doughty, prime Shea Weber. But that's the thing, is that the Team Canada blue lines have always had an edge to them, right? Like, that's the thing. They're the most fearsome blue line. It wasn't always like the most skilled guys. It's like the dudes who will block shots, take big hits, kill penalties, have ugly faces, no teeth, Drew Doughty. Like,
you're preaching to the choir here, buddy. I love the take. Like, I look at the Leafs, the Canada decor. It's a lot of rushers. It's a lot of Maybelline game, like it's a lot of guys flying up and down the ice. Like, you need an ugly son of a gun back there.
Give me that ugly
biscuits,
Give me that toothless caveman back there blocking shots.
Dude, I'm already worried enough about this Four Nations face-off where like the juice is a juice worth the squeeze with the injury front, where it's like half like every good player in the Leafs is going to be going. And it's like, the Leafs lost Chris Tanev, but at least Canada won the inaugural Four Nations face-off. It's like, oh God, like,
you're such a doomcaster, man. Like, doomcaster.
Like, listen, it's the Olympics. It's one thing.
Yeah.
If they lose somebody in the Olympics, it's like, okay, whatever. We won gold. That's all that matters. I don't care about anything else. Yeah. But like for the original, like the Four Nations face-off, it's like, ugh, a little more worried about that one.
Imagine getting injuries and losing the.
Yeah, man.
No, you're right. It's a fair point, but I'm just saying, I cannot for the life of me imagine how these hockey GMs are looking at Bouchard playing on the power play with McDavid, and you're like, I get it, he's a talented guy, but that you would want him out there against Team USA over Chris Tanev in these spots. Like, just
give me Tanev all day.
100%. And also, I just know that this is the type of take that normally other markets would crush, and they would go like, look at these idiots talking about Chris. But you're telling me that people in Vancouver and like Calgary, they're not like,
no, but he's like, his approval rating in Canada.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Every market adores this guy.
Yeah. Like, he's not even the other markets can hate on this take because they all love him too. So they know. So I think that this is kind of a universally accepted fine one. So anyways, Chris Tanev for Team Canada.
Love it.
It's worth the conversation. Nick Robertson getting 6% of the player of the game poll is honestly one of the most outrageous things.
Nick Richards in there hammering the vote.
Like that he had a better game than Nylander or than Tanev or than Wool in this game. But yeah, all right, 6% of you is doing all right. Fire it in there. I guess you could give a guy like his props, give him a player of the game for that one. Speaking of which, though, the Team Canada stuff, you do have to have Hagel and Cirelli there for me. You just see those two guys on the PK for them and how good. I don't even think Hagel should be a bubble guy anymore. Like, I know he's been talked about one. He's been considered a bubble dude. To me, he's just nasty. He's taken a huge step with them this season. I love his game. I think he's like pure Team Canada hockey down the lineup kind of game that you want to have on the team. And I would just say, I like the pairings. And I thought, hey, that's one of their penalty kill units right there. Good. Easy.
I can't stand him. Can't stand him. He's like one of the only guys I truly like. His face really just makes me angry. He's like, I truly sports hate Hagel. Him and Kucherov are 1-2 in the league for me. So it's going to be interesting for me to cheering for a lot of these guys in Canada. Like Reinhardt is an absolute Leaf killer, and you're going to be rooting for him. Hagel's an absolute Leaf killer. You're going to be rooting for him. Like it's going to be a quick turnaround.
When the guys put the
of course you forget immediately. You forget immediately. Like it's like snap of the fingers. I get it.
Never once had. The only time that I ever felt that was when I was in university and Bertuzzi was on Team Canada. And it was coming off of the Steve Moore thing, and it felt a little ugly.
A little dirty.
Yeah, it felt dirty. It felt wrong. And I felt like we were cursed, and we were. So that's the only time I've ever seen a guy in a Team Canada swear where I was like, no. This is not right. Hagel, but do you disagree?
No, he should be there.
He's got to be there.
He's a good player.
Like, I think, again, not a bubble guy anymore. Like an actual bona fide has to be their guy.
Our boy Celebrini's making a bit of a charge for it, too.
Celebrini, yeah. I mean...
He's nasty, man. The guy shoots in the net every night. No, but he's 2026 Olympics. He'll definitely be there.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I think he's an Olympic, basically lock it down, but I don't think that he'll be on this team. Either way, I like those guys, and I especially like Hagel, and I wish I could sport Tatum. The thing is that me, like I love Marchand and I like Hagel, and those are just like they're kind of my guys. Where it's like they're dying breeds, and so I appreciate them more, and so I end up kind of rooting for them. So I'm in on that.
You mentioned Marchand. Is there a funnier clip than him hammering Biz? No. That's the funniest thing ever.
Man,
those guys that beat the wheels off you is one of the funniest things ever. Those guys that are universally hated, and Marchand goes on their side.
Yeah, I know. It's so good. Those guys every two is so great. Yeah. So here's my Marchand take is very much what I'd like to share with Leaf fans, how I felt about Kobe. So when Kobe was retiring, there was a commercial. And I've referenced this on my show before, where it's like all the different people around basketball that are like, I hate you, I hate you, I hate
one of the best commercials of all time.
Yeah,
Paul Pierce in there,
like, and he's directing them. It's an all-timer. And in that moment, I realized where I was like, man, I'm never going to sportate anybody like Kobe ever again in basketball. Like, I truly despised watching. I hated MJ too, because again, I hated the killers, right? The guys who killed my teams.
Yeah.
And Kobe, I couldn't stand. And I respected him though so deeply. And I knew that I was like, we're never going to see this like again. And you're so rare. The mama mentality, all of it. Like I respected Kobe infinite. Like, and it kind of made me so sad. And I feel the same way with Marchand right now, where I'm watching him and I'm going, I don't know how many more of these guys we're going to get, you know?
Free agent. Maybe you'll be a Leaf.
Would be my dream. I would like when people are like, "Oh, what would you do with the Marner money if he leaves?" I'm like, I'd bring it all to Marchand.
11 million, Marchand.
Stick it to Boston. It's worth the price.
Couple quick hitters for me. Yeah. I don't love to talk about the refs, but that call on Oliver Ekman-Larsson is a disgrace to the game.
No, it wasn't good.
No, it's like those guys are having an absolute war in front of the net where he cross-checks, who was it? Was it Gensel he was battling with in front of the net? Where he cross-checks Gensel down. Gensel gets up, spears him, does all this stuff, and it's just like the whistle goes and you give him one shot and it's a hard-fought game and these guys are battling the whole night. And Cirelli cross-checked him harder than he
originally, when I saw the call, that's what I thought it was, because the ref's arm goes up right after it happens. And I was saying, I actually thought it was a disgrace that they called that one too.
Yeah, they were both a disgrace. They're two teams that hate each other that are fighting in a close game. They're battling in front of the net. Like either call would have been an affront to the sport. And totally couldn't believe that Hero called that. That is just wanting to insert yourself into the game. You're sitting there, you haven't made a call in a while, and you're like, time to make it about me, baby. You're going off the ice for a stock cross check after been battling in front of the net. Like, God, I hate when refs do that. Just so heroic. That's it. Yep. The last thing, Hockey Night in Canada going full Creed. Just
I have it in my notes too.
Oh my God. Full Creed moment tonight. Like that intro, I don't have any beers in my house and I had to do a show, but like I was ready to hammer 7 Bud Lights immediately once that intro started. I got that sent to me by 17 different people. My Creed brand is strong. It was great. I was fired up.
Listen, you and I have had many a car ride listening to 2000s alternative rock, talking about what songs rule. Creed's comeback has been outrageously great.
Oh yeah, it's so happy. I'm so happy about it.
I wanted to go. I couldn't get down. It was like 3 Doors Down and Creed were just here. I was like, I would have killed to have gone to that show. Could not make it. Could not get the night off. And then I saw the videos of the people at the concert,
having
and it was just
time of their lives,
losing their minds. It's basically Creed is becoming like Taylor Swift for white guys in their late 30s. Like they're showing up to these shows, going absolutely nuts for it. Anyway, so Sam McCreed is good.
So the last thing somebody mentioned, I don't know who it was that said it, but if you're watching on YouTube, Ty Chuck said highlight of tonight is Sammy's lighting, sexiest lighting of the season. My ring light, my little influencer ring light just stopped working, so I had to bring down this super artsy lamp off my like bedside table. I don't know if you can see it or not.
That's very like, see, you got a little sea captain vibe going on there and you hold the light up. Like you just let somebody into the lighthouse. You're like, who goes there?
Anyways, if you're wondering why my lighting looks like I'm sitting beside a campfire tonight, that's the reason. And I was going to go just dark, but it looked like I was sitting in a dark room, so I couldn't.
This is one of those things where I remember when I used to play music and they would tell you like, you just don't reference it. And most people probably don't notice if you make the mistake. That was probably one of those ones.
Yeah.
For me, last thing is simply, I know Tampa came back in this game and that they were doing well in that third period.
Yeah.
But it's pretty clear that who's the big brother in this relationship now. Toronto's won 6 of their last 8. They've won the playoff series. Like, I think if you're Toronto, and I'll just go and say it's like, and nobody wants them to finish in the middle of the pack this year and have to do the whole like go through the division thing. I think a Tampa playoff series would be boring at this point. Like you want something fresh, you want something new. But like, I don't think that Leafs fans fear Tampa. I don't think the Leafs fear Tampa. I think it's a good matchup for the Leafs if it does end up happening. Like again, the track record is last 6 of 8, or 6 of the last 8 have been Toronto wins. Playoff series win. They kind of own Vasilevsky. I don't know. It just,
buddy, it takes a lot for a Leaf fan to say this, but like if the Leafs have no fear of you, then it's pretty bad.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like
they win in that building all the time. They've had 3-4 massive playoff wins in that building. Like it's just not like that building. It's not intimidating at all. It's half Leaf fans. The crowd there is never very good. Like I even think the Florida crowd when they're rocking and rolling is way better than
way better, dude.
I like the Leafs.
The Florida crowd, their thing. Like I was actually going to give them props. Like that last game,
they're horned up.
Yeah, you could tell. Like they took some pride with that one, knowing that Leafs fans were going to come, and they seemed to really care and getting their butts in the seats. So, no, I don't even think it's close. Tampa, even the one Tampa fan coming in the building with the anti-Stamkos stuff that night was like, "Yeah, I hear Stam." I was like, "Yeah, it tells you all you need to know about the Tampa fans. They're mutants." Anyways. That's it for me. Subscribe to the podcast, leave 5 stars, do all those things.
Take me higher.
It just hits.
Agreed.
It's funny though, because like they got like 5 songs that are just all bangers, and then if you go to a concert, you got to sit there through like a whole bunch of stuff.
The deep cuts
you've never heard once in your life. But it's like higher. God, I can't even think of any of the other names of the songs because I all know them by the chorus.
Sing them for me. I'm pulling up the Creed right now. Hold on.
Yeah, pull up the list.
I'm pulling it up. The songs, One Last Breath, My Sacrifice, With Arms Wide Open.
No, Arms Wide Open might be the best one, actually.
My Sacrifice is my fave.
Yeah, My Sacrifice. That's it. Yeah, those are all bangers. Those are all bangers. So it's like you get those 5 songs, and then you have to rot through the rest of the show.
But they save those 5 for the last 5 songs.
No,
like the last 5 songs are those.
Play those 5 songs, like play the 5
over and over.
Do them again. Do the 5 again, Creed. Anyway, same with Three Doors Down. All those bands are like the exact same thing, where it's like 3 Doors Down got that song Loser. They got Kryptonite. They got
Kryptonite's so good, dude.
Yeah, Kryptonite's so good.
What a song.
No, but you know what their best one is? When I'm Gone.
Oh, so good.
That one rules. You listen to When I'm Gone when you're working out.
Without you.
Yeah,
I'm
makes you
here
cry.
without you.
Yeah. Dude, that one had a music video where it was like military guys.
Oh, I remember that. Sad.
It was like Here Without You, Baby was the troops. It was post 9/11.
Waiting for Christina Aguilera Dirty to come on, and I got to sit through this.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you had to wait for it. You had to. Anyways, all right. It's got off the road. Time to wrap it up. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Subscribe, review, follow us on Twitter and Instagram at JD Bunkers, at Sammy McKee. We'll see you on Monday night.
On it. Canadian, Ultra, XL, Molson. Everyone in.